started out on live, man, that was the play. Streaming every night, building up the sway. But as the site faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms, surfing through the fray. Got my crew behind me, yeah, we call them givers. Chillin' IRL, catching all the rivers. Farkle in the chat, bringing laughs to the grind. Talking crypto games while we sippin' Jack Fine. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite. Community so solid, always shining bright. Rolling, rolling deep and cruising for the height. From the struggle to the stream, it's all just a game. But with the giver found, we're making our name. Jack and crypto profits, life just gets sweeter. Every view and every stream, making life a keeper. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. So here's to the journey, no regrets in sight. Each laugh and each tear, it's a beautiful fight. Keep the wave rolling, let the good vibes flow. We're the givers, together in the show. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. Script how we play a game. Friends not the next time, chasing fame. Put the gear behind me, changing scenes. So through it and then living out the dream. Got my acoustic strong, curing it chill, far crack and jokes. Go stop the thrill, and then the king weeds free ride the waves. Our own streams phone, no better days. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme.
Hello, the internet. It is Saturday, the 28th of March, 2026, and welcome back to the channel. I know, I finally fixed that. That always has doubled up for so long, and I finally went in and made changes while I was making the big change. Right now, I am streaming live from the M5 Max. I don't know if you can see it there in all of its glory. It's a black machine. It's beautiful. It's powerful. It's should be, well, actually, there'll be no difference at your end of the stream. Just the viewer won't really notice. Well, actually, no, you might notice a couple of subtleties. There will be no lag. There'll be none of that. There'll be no dropped frames. In fact, instead of dropping frames, I'm giving you more frames because I'm shooting now 1080-60 instead of 1080-30. That would be a doubling of the frame rate, so you can see me in all the smoothness that you need. I don't know why you'd need that given my age, but 1080-60 is the crack, and this device is sitting at 2.3% CPU. Everything running as usual, the same setup that I've had before. The only difference is the machine is the M5, and instead of using, I can't show it to you, I put it away. Instead of using this old Belkin Thunderbolt 1, I guess it was. The very first Thunderbolt that came out pretty much just after Firewire disappeared, the thick square Thunderbolt. Oh, by the way, can I check this? Bugger, that's not working. Okay, that is working, but not working. Okay, interesting. I haven't keyed everything in. There's obviously some little glitches like my death tab, I call it. I don't call it that. I should call it that. Switch to that and the stream stays up, but nothing. But anyway, I'll fix that. So yeah, the CalDigit TS5 Plus is what's running along with the CalDigit TS4 and the TS3. So I got three, you know, the M5 Max, all of the Macs these days, they only have 3 Thunderbolt ports. So you're kind of limited to what you can plug into them. But what you can do is take those ports and add a dock to it. And then from the dock, you can go out and add your own devices. So that's what I've done. By the way, is that background music louder? It kind of feels a little louder in my Kansas. It's very subtle, but it does feel, also, this might be what I'm hearing right now. I did change my sample rate from 44.1 to 48 hertz. Maybe that's probably why we're hearing it better. It can't be that audible. Also, I made a small change. Yo, Jason, I don't hear it. It's a subtle, very subliminal background audio just to be there in the distance. But how you doing, Jason? A little subtle change I made to my setup was to put my chat screen in color. It used to be it's always been in color, but these screen, or what are they called? Platform logos are now colorized, which just makes it a bit easier to see who's doing what where. Also, it's getting cold here. I had my my Ugg boots on. I'm taking them off because I want to feel the ground touch the grass. I've got some noise here anyway. Dude, it is right now, it is epic surf conditions. Way too big for me. Like it's beautiful and clean. Offshore winds, like 40 kilometer an hour gusting offshore wind and peeling waves. I look out there and I'm like, man, can someone be out there riding it? Not me, someone else. Although if someone was out there, I'd probably paddle out because I feel it's that the conditions are so advanced that if I make a mistake out there, there's very high potential for death. So I don't want to, not that anyone else out there is going to help, but it just feels more like, I don't know, you just feel better with other people around. So no surfing until it just calms down a little. I think tomorrow looks like it's still going to be good, but not as nasty. So yeah, anyway, just back on the, hey, oh no. Oh, I updated OBS and it's taken away. It has, hasn't it? It's taken away the viewers watching. Damn it. There's always something. Okay, I should have seen that. But okay, so from here on we have no one watching, but we do. I can see 43 viewers. Of course, 33 of those are phony from the Nemo TV. What was I saying? Just setting this machine up, it occurred to me that I had so much garbage on my old machine, like programs that I might have downloaded just to check what they do, like script editors and I don't know, FTP server uploads and CyberDuck, and that's why this isn't working. I had this one called Carabiner. It is working because it's putting an A in so it's registering the letter A, but it's not triggering the thing. I wonder why that is. Carabiner's okay. I'll work it out later. But I noticed that there were so many additional things that were pretty much taking up a lot of my hard drive space. This machine's got 2 terabytes as a standard. My old machine had 1 terabyte. By the way, that's getting picked up tomorrow, so that's sold. You want me to read you some? I haven't done this gives a rant segment. I got to do a little stinger for a rant. So I've got this person coming tomorrow. Tomorrow to pick this up, to pay for it. So I originally had it set for $2,550, and a week later there was no one one troll had asked me, "Is this still available?" No, I've advertised it because I've already sold it. You idiot! So there was only one person. So I dropped it by $100 to $2,450, and no one responded most of the week. So I dropped it down to $2,350. So that's $200, like from what ChatGPT said it should be. Now, that's neither whatever. Okay, it's good sometimes, but not all the time. I live in a rural area, Jason, and I just got Starlink. Hey, nice, man. Starlink for the win. Yeah, it's good. And it's real good. So I dropped it to I dropped it 200 to 2350, and I immediately got a guy saying he wants to buy it. So he's coming around tomorrow. And then yesterday, while I was working yesterday, had this one. I'm just going to read you this shit. Hi, is this still available? I can pick it up this weekend. Would you take $1,800? So lowball, but look, I'm not making this up, right? I haven't even responded at that. Oh, that's too bright. I haven't even responded at this point. He's hit me up. Would you take 1,800? And I said, no, it's already reduced from, and I put this is a little tip. This is a little tip, okay? See that little extra dollar sign there in my message? Wait for it to focus. Come on, man. What? That's taking a long, it's because of my hand, the hair. Get a focus on that. Okay, so see the little extra dollar sign? No, it's already reduced from $2550 to 2350. That extra dollar sign will come in handy in a second. So I said no, and he said, okay, what's a reasonable number you would consider? I haven't responded. And then he tells me what it's for. It's for a fellow architectural colleague. My director is paying. So what did I do? What do you think I did? Responded straight away with the price again. No faffing around here. 2350. This Yahoo's come back with, that's your bottom line, question mark. I know it's a high spec. I have the same one. However, it's a 5-year-old computer. I would think 2,200 will be reasonable. If you're okay with that, I'll have the money to you by Monday. Now, this is why I said that extra dollar sign comes in handy, because my response to that diatribe was the same thing you'd expect. No, it's already reduced from $2550 to 23. And what's the importance of the dollar sign? It means that it's obvious I've cut and pasted my initial response. I'm not interested in chatting with you. I'm not interested in having a discussion about bargaining. I've already reduced it from 2.5 to 2.3. That's what it is. And you can tell that I'm getting a little pissed off here by me copying and pasting the same message twice. There's the first time I did it at the top. And then there's the time that I did it just now. And so he said, reductions aside, it's a buyer's market. No, it's not. If I'm the one selling and you're not willing to pay the price, it's my market. I'm not having to sell it to you. I hadn't said at this stage that I already have a buyer, right? You might say, well, that wasn't fair of you. No. I'm allowed to have a chat with someone. If they want to buy my thing I'm advertising, I can talk to them. Then it said you can now rate each other. I was going to go, I don't want to rate this guy. He said, how about 2250? And I said, literally the same thing again. No, it's already reduced from dollar sign. So I copied and pasted it 3 times, and he finally realized, he goes, I get it. I'm selling at the moment, and I reduced from 30K to 20K. It's what the market values it to be. Reductions aside, and then he said, a car. It's $100. You can give me a small reduction and the sale is done. Is that okay? So that's when I finally said, the price is firm, mate. And then he goes, okay, I'll take it. So all that faffing around, he goes, I'll take it. So he says, I'm not paying, it's for my company. I'm negotiating on behalf of my director. If that's your bottom line, that's your bottom line. Fair. And then I say, I have someone coming Sunday morning. I'll let you know if they buy it or not. They're coming at 11, so I'll let you know before midday. Okay, so to seal the deal, I have to pay you now? No, I said, no, the other buyer is first in line. I have to respect that they came in first. We'll let you know how it goes. Okay. So all that conversation, without me telling him that I already have a buyer, is me ensuring that if the first buyer decides not to buy it tomorrow when he comes around, I can then contact this guy and say, if you want it, it's still available. The price is 2350. And if he doesn't want it and the first guy doesn't want it, it goes back up. You can choose when to sell. Exactly, Jason. Exactly. I got one bad review on Marketplace from some asshole who wanted my dad's Roku for $5. I mean, I feel like Facebook Marketplace should take that. Is this still available? They should not allow you to, like, it's like walking into a car yard and pointing at a car saying, is that one for sale? Yeah, that big sticker on the front that says $7,000. That's not there just for shits and giggles. That's the price. It's for sale. You're in a car yard. What do we do here? We're selling cars. What do you think is that one's not for sale? Go around the back of the car yard where we park our cars, the staff cars. They're the ones that aren't for sale, but they don't have big stickers on them. This one that says 4-wheel drive diesel with $7,000 on it, that one is for sale. You don't need to ask me, is that for sale? Indian or something, they're a plague. I mean, you know what it is? It's people, a lot of the time, and this one I don't think was one of them, but often it's a scammer and they will get you to they will say something like, is it okay if I pay you up front to show you that I'm keen? And it's like, you want to pay me now before you've come to pick it up? So you want to give me $5,000 or whatever this was, $2,350. You want to give that to me now without even having the product in your hand. You're comfortable enough to give me $2,000, but of course they're not going to give you the money. They're going to say to you, I've put a little bit into your account, blah, blah, blah. Go over here and check this. Just sign into this little web portal app thing. And then all of a sudden, you know that they've taken your freaking details and you've lost everything. So just if someone says to you, I want to pay you by some kind of funky cash method of payment, maybe don't ever accept gift certificates and all that shit. But if they try to give you something you don't know of, just be like, no, dude, it's cash on delivery. It's cash up front when you come here. And I'm not holding it for you. Like fake transfer. Yeah, that stuff, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, I feel like everyone knows those gags now. Like I've had those scammers. Yo, Netsky, how you doing, man? I've had those scammers. Yeah, me too. How you doing, Netsky's over on the D-Live machine? Sad days today. Another live streaming platform has bit the dust. Trovo is saying ta-ta. We'll do a stream on that tomorrow, I guess. But I did find that interesting that Trovo is, they've just said instead of focusing on live streaming, we're going to focus on gaming. Say that again in English. Yeah. We're not going to be focusing on live streaming anymore. We're going to remove that functionality from our website, and instead we're going to focus on gaming. You know that the gaming market is live content. Like everyone live streams their gameplay. So they decided against that, and they're going to suffer the consequence. They're going to go belly up. But there are other websites that are coming in behind. I did notice that the guys behind Valora.tv did a tweet not unlike, remember when Mixer died, and then D-Live put out a tweet saying something like, all those Mixer streamers that had now without a home, you're welcome to come over to D-Live and we'll fast track you through the affiliate process so that you can, you know, if you've been affiliated up on Mixer, you've spent years grinding to get to a VP status or whatever it was over there, and then all of a sudden overnight they pull the strings up and it's gone. Well, the other platforms, D-Live in this instance, were saying if you come over and sign up and we can verify that you were a partner, we'll fast track you through our partnership program and you can keep going where you've got a new home here. And what I saw from Valora was that they were doing that to the streamers that are like they did that on the Trovo announcement on their Twitter. So if you need a new home to come to, come over to Valora.tv. And also Beamstream made mention of Beam Part 2, Phase 2, which is coming in about a month. They were saying, come on over to beamstream.gg and get ready. We've got a big announce coming in 2 months or a month and a half or something. So there's something funky coming to Beam. Like, I mean, Beam's already, I'm not just saying this because of whatever, but I'm really enjoying Beam. Beam has had its ups and downs, and you've got to be able to, like, there's a few funky steps you got to take to get the dance going. Like, I mean, I've shown it to you before, but I got all these categories, all these outputs that I'm streaming to, and you've got to go and turn them all off and then start your stream. And even with the M5 Mac, I've got the most powerful Apple laptop that exists, and I've got fiber to the premises. Okay, it's not gigabit. We've dumped it back down to a measly 100 meg up. So I've got a very good internet connection and it's reliable as shit. Even with that and streaming to Beamstream, I still get, in this case, 326 drop frames at the very beginning of the stream. It goes up to, I always have Beam turned on and YouTube and all the other ones turned off. And then as I see it coming up on the YouTube, I'll then go down and turn all the other ones back on. And that's my little workaround, because what I was finding before, if they're all set to on and you go live from OBS, it just doesn't do it. It just will never, the Beam ingest just won't happen. And I was trying to get technical help on it, and they were basically saying it's you, not us. And I was like, it's not me, man, because, and I know it's not me, like I already knew that, but I've double confirmed it, because today, before this stream, I did a private, like an unlisted stream to YouTube only, and I went straight in without anything else turned on Beam. Not even Beam was on, just YouTube. And right down here, again, 326 frames dropped at the beginning of the stream. So what I did then was I took Beam out of the equation and I went straight from OBS directly into YouTube. Didn't go via Beam, went live, immediately connected with 0 drop frames. So there's a weird handshaking point where if you start your live feed, you will always drop frames before it gets going on Beam. That's why my feed, you'll notice that there's a bit of black at the start and it slowly ramps into the countdown. It's because that's insignificant information, and that means that those drop frames just drop a period of blackness or whatever. It's not relevant. Always use Beam when I stream. I think it's cool. As Netsky's, I mean, look, it has flaws, but they're working on it. And the UniChat is great. It's working fine. Doesn't work with every site. And they put out a press release about, what was it, 2 months, maybe 3 months ago, after that streamer did a stream, like the world record stream with all of the platforms or something, whatever. They put out a list of platforms that they're streaming. They say you can now stream to over 100 platforms through beamstream.gg. This is a little bit embarrassing, but I went through every single one of those platforms, and I probably found about maybe at least 20 that were phony, that just weren't platforms. They were either like corporate alternatives to Zoom or Microsoft Teams, those kind of things. So they weren't live streaming platforms. So their message was you can now live stream to 100 platforms through BeamStream. Not technically correct, and it was and also not necessary. Like having that as their pitch is not relevant when they should just be pitching we're better than Restream because we have a free service and it kicks ass. Restream has no social element to it. When you use Restream.io, you're just a number. You're just a customer of theirs. They don't have any. There's no website you can go to and say where are all the list of the Restreamer streamers. I want to go and participate in those guys. No, there's no social element to it at all. So BeamStream is a website with a social aspect to it, and this free multi-streaming. It's pretty sick, man. Like, and monetization's here. Embers, right? We don't know what they're worth, but we don't know how you can cash them out, but they're there. It's like having a drawer. It's like having a drawer full of money, and you're like, has someone got a key to that? And what are those things worth again? We'll find out at some point. But I am stoked here. I'm really happy with my M5. I'm not exactly stoked on the D brand. I don't know if you're in the house watching, from Oz kind of inspired me to get this D brand skin. I call it a skin from the laptop, and I did it and I bought it and I covered it up, and it all looks nice. I just don't think, I don't know. I mean, I stuck it everywhere. I got the upper one, like the shell, and then the underside of it, and also the top side of it. And I got one for the what's it called? The trackpad. So this is all covered. I'll cut to the overhead, and you can see it's all covered. And this is a black machine. I'll turn that the other way in a second. But this is it's a matte black laptop. Now it was already the space gray one from Apple. Yeah, look. So this has got the D brand skin on it. It's all good, but I'll tell you what I don't like. On the trackpad, don't really like the feel. I just want to know how it feels. Dude, we got to get that drop again. I just want to tell you how it feels. I'll tell you how this feels. It kind of feels like a wetsuit material. You know when you got your fingers on a wetsuit? Not that you'd be like pinching to zoom on a wetsuit, but it feels like a wetsuit. By the way, did you see the 18-inch MSI M5 Beta laptop? I got that link. We may get to that later on today for sure. And in fact, we probably should, Netskis. I'll bump that up forward because that is relevant because I've just got a brand new laptop and I think that's relevant. Yeah, the M5 Beta. Of course, the difference there is you're running a Windows machine and you know what that's like. I don't want to do that. No, I'm stoked. Visibly, no difference. Desktop real estate, no difference. I mean, I'm streaming OBS right now. And I know the fans are on. I can hear a fan. I can hear a fan now. That's the first time I've heard that fan. But it's not like an aircraft landing or anything. But there is a fan noise on there. What else? Because I was telling you. Did you know that, well, this is something I found out from installing all this. There is there's an issue with USB bus. So even though this device has like 3 Thunderbolt 5 in-outs, IOs, even if you plug in, now how am I going to explain this? So I'm running the CalDigits T5s, T4 and a T3. Each one of those is in its own separate Thunderbolt port. So basically I've got a laptop, and then if you think I've got 3 other smaller laptops that are plugged in to the Thunderbolt ports. That's essentially how I run this whole setup via that. Unfortunately, there's a limitation to the USB bus. So if you want to plug in, which I've got overheads for GoPros coming in on Camlink 4Ks, there actually is a physical limit to how much it's kind of hard to explain because it's not a physical limit, but if you try to run, like 2 seems fine because one's in each side. So Oi. Who did that on DLive? Oi! Oi! Who did that on DLive? Netsky, thanks for the host, man. Giddy up. Yeah, I'll cut this short because it's a bit nonsense because it's working fine, but there's a physical limitation, and it's the USB protocol that's the problem. And I believe it's the same even with USB-C. So these guys, these old Camlink 4Ks, they're the old Thunderbolt A or whatever, the 3.1 or whatever they were called. But yeah, I did not know that there was a physical limitation. I thought anything you fed into the CalDigit, it would somehow do magic in the CalDigit and have its own bus and then convert it all down the Thunderbolt 5 and you'd be good to go. But no, there still is that physical limitation coming from the CalDigit into the Thunderbolt 5 and into the laptop. And that's because of USB busing. So don't like, if you really want to get multiple, like more cameras, which I don't need anymore. I feel like the 2 and the main camera and the 2, that's enough. But I do have old GoPros I could, but if you wanted to do that, you'd have to have something like a switcher, like with the A10 Mini or something like that. So it's, or you could use NDI on your phone and stuff. But for the sake of just a small cut at the back, and these 2 cameras, they're only up there. First of all, they're there because I don't use those GoPros for anything. They're literally old surfing GoPros, but they are now. It's just to show you the atmosphere. It'd be like if I was IRL streaming, I'd turn the camera around and show you where I'm sitting or the beach or whatever it is, just to give you the vibe, you know? Also to showcase this lovely hotel room that I get accused of streaming in. Remember I used to get, that were trolls coming in saying, nice hotel, man. Yeah, it's a great hotel. There's a great beach out there too, and I can go swimming whenever I want, so suck on them dog balls. I was thinking that the other day, actually, like I'm so lucky to live here, like so fortunate just to walk out my door and go surfing like that. Come on, man. I'm going surfboarding whenever I want. Just walk out my door. Not today though, too big. But all that said, what the hell is vMix? We know what vMix is, right? Don't we? Do we? I've heard of vMix. I believe what vMix is, and I'm about to find out via the GPT machine, I believe vMix is a production software switching console. Now you might say, wait, isn't that OBS? Yeah, OBS and vMix are in competition, if you like. vMix is more your traditional production warehouses, churches, places of worship, the football stadiums and that kind of stuff. They use vMix typically. That's where I think it's a Windows-based thing. I'm not sure. But I feel like we should at least, like, I want to know about it. So let's spend a little while, maybe half an hour or so, just learning about what vMix is. And we've got a few YouTube videos and whatnot. I just want to kind of grasp the feeling of what it does. You might say, why would you do that, dude? Now you've got a beautiful, powerful M5 Max. You don't need anything else, right? No, I don't, but I always like to keep up to speed with the tech and I don't want to let it go. I mean, vMix is years old now, but I don't want it to advance to the point where all of a sudden, like DaVinci Resolve came about and I was like, what? DaVinci, who's doing when? What? I don't need that. Final Cut and Premiere. No, and now DaVinci Resolve is like, everyone's talking about it. Like, I don't talk about it because I don't use it, but everyone else is. So vMix, whatever. You know, one time at the beginning of my live streaming, I bought Wirecast. I don't know if you guys were around. Netskis might have been around, but Wirecast, man. I paid $580 for a lifetime like subscription, or it was a one-off payment for. I paid money. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. In the last little while, this is definitely one of the dumb things I've done. I paid money, like good money, for a software-based streaming setup. Basically, I paid for OBS. And holy crap, it was so clunky. Like, oh my goodness, there were so many things wrong with that. Like if I mean, you know me, I'll always ask for a refund or, you know, send off whatever's to try to make good or whatever. This software, there's no way they should have been legally allowed to sell that. It was so it's called Rendezvous. They're set up for call-ins, like remote hosting of guests. I think it was called Rendezvous. Dude, that just did not work. Never. And they were like, no, everyone gets this to work. And I went on their forums and everyone was saying the same thing. This isn't working. My guest can't hear us. Why can't we plug this in properly? There's no noise. We can't work out this. There's no volume meters. What's going on? Everyone, there was just one after the next. And they had these YouTube videos that were so obviously computer generated. They weren't showing you the thing working. They were showing you it wasn't AI, but they were showing you a render of what it should do. I was like, well, if this is so good, why don't you just show us it working? And I couldn't find any videos online of people using it, except for the product manufacturers saying this is what it does. But again, they weren't showing us it working. Yo, Duxky, g'day, Gibbs. Waves up there today. Dude, it's epic up here right now. I don't know what to tell you. I can't surf. I can't go out there. If I go out there, I won't be coming back. Not even in the southern corner, right? Like the Tilbury Cove. It's just off limits right now. So yeah, I've had my experience with different software, and OBS was there the whole time. There was a gap. There was a good period of time when OBS on a Mac just wasn't up to speed. Like if you had a PC, like a Windows-based machine, you could use OBS and essentially everything would work out of the box without any issues. On a Mac, and even to this day, you probably need loopback from Rogue Amoeba as a minimum. That's your audio routing setup. I also use another one called Sound Source, again from Rogue Amoeba. Not fully necessary, but definitely helps. But loopback at a minimum and OBS on a Mac is now like there's no issues. Like, so I don't know why you would need vMix. But then again, I don't know what vMix is. Tropical storm we had this week was huge, and I bet the waves are massive out there. Dude, it's way, way, way out of control, but it is clean. I always say when this happens, if there were like pro surfers, like if like Jamie O'Brien and all the pipeline crew and whatever, if they were here, they'd be frothing. They'd be out there and they'd be charging it because it's clean, big, long barrels. Like you look up and there's a barrel that runs right along the beach for like 600, 700 meters, and there's just no one out there because it's like, what does it say? It says it's double overhead right now. I'll tell you what the surf report is today. I'll show it to you. Oh no, that'll tell you where I live. It's 2.4 to 3 meters in height. That's the Lotus forecast. Solid to XL surf at exposures, cleanest and much more easygoing sheltered southerly corners, Tilbury Cove. Well-sheltered southerly corners are much smaller, anywhere from head high to well overhead depending on exposure. South-facing spots, so taking the full brunt, seeing the full force of the XL surf, possibly 2 to 3 times overhead. So that's factoring in a person usually around 6 foot, 5.5, maybe 5'7", 5'8", 3 times that high. So you're looking at close to 15 foot. Let's say 15 foot. That's it's not my level, right? Like if you get hit with one of those waves, even just duck diving under a wave that, like if you get in the impact zone of that, you can break a bone just from a duck dive. I don't want that. I want that wave, but I don't want that risk. That's here for you got 2 meter swell. Yeah, dude. Crazy stuff. All right, come on, ChatGPT, hit me. What? And by the way, I haven't got my setup to bring in ChatGPT yet either. I got to set that up. But what is vMix? This is an easy one for it. It's a professional live video production and streaming software for Windows. There you go. So it's only for Windows. Think of it as a full-on TV studio running on your computer. If you've ever used OBS, vMix is like OBS's more intense, feature-packed cousin. I'm out of messages. I've been busy with ChatGPT today, actually. What does it do? It lets you switch between multiple cameras like a TV show would, add video, images, screen captures, web pages, stream live to platforms, YouTube, record your streams at the same time. So everything OBS does, it does. Why do people use it? Good question. It's popular in professional live streams, events, concerts and conferences, sports broadcasting, churches, corporate productions, creators who want more control than OBS gives. Okay. Yo, Giggles, how you doing, Giggle Pickles? What's crackle-ackling? vMix versus OBS. Quick vibe check. OBS is free. vMix is paid. I didn't know that. Get out of here. There's way more built-in tools. Steeper learning curve. Feels like real broadcast. Okay. The big standout features. Built-in replay. Okay. That's probably pretty interesting. Not for me. vMix Call. Remote guests without extra tools like Discord. Okay. Or Video Ninja. Advanced audio routing. There you go. Even the PC nerds need that. NDI support. Got all that with OBS. More powerful scene switching and layering. The catches. Windows only. A no native Mac OS version. A big one for you on an M1. I'm on an M5 now. Suck that in. It can feel overwhelming and it costs money. Okay. So that's what ChatGPT tells us vMix is. And that's also telling me that I'm not going to ever use it. But anyway, just for the curiosity out there, this is what it is from the production, or this is from vMix themselves. Playskis. Also, first time we're playing video into my new M1 Max M5. Let's see how this does.
Many people ask us, what is vMix?
I did.
Well, thanks for asking.
No
vMix
worries.
is software that allows you to create awesome live video productions. vMix supports a variety of different inputs to help your live production come to life. These include cameras, videos, images, titles, PowerPoint, green screen, streams, audio, and
It looks bunky, right? Like that logo just looks like a Windows logo. You know, the color palette and what was it? Just like 4 graphic. Yeah, that just looks. I'm sorry, I don't know. That shouldn't make a difference, but it does to me. Yuck.
and more. You can then display your production on screens, record to your hard drive, and stream to the web all at the same time.
So everything that they've said there, you can do on OBS for free.
There are many different applications for vMix. Some of our customers have used it for large music concerts, school productions, live sports coverage, church services, esports, live web streaming shows, horse auctions.
Horse auctions? That, it looks like Xscript, similar Xscript, is it? Okay.
You name it, vMix can do it. What do you need to use vMix? At the very basic end of things, you can use a computer with onboard graphics and a webcam. If you want to bring in a few HD cameras, you'll need a bit more processing power,
No
a
shit.
dedicated graphics card, and a capture device. We have a list of recommended system requirements on our website.
Wow.
Whether you're an aspiring YouTube singer in your bedroom performing Phil Collins covers, or someone with an 8-camera live concert production, vMix is for you. There is a free 60-day fully functional trial on our website.
That's pretty good.
www.vmixhd.com. So check it out.
Wow, who got vmix.com? How come they didn't get that? www.vmix.com. Actually, I should get off there just in case. Let me just... No, vMix. What the hell? They've got vmix.com, but they don't promote it? They own vmix.com, but that video said vmixhd.com. That's weird. That's going to be weird. Here's here is actually, you know what? Fuck that. We don't need to know anything more about it. But I want to see what the difference between OBS versus vMix, because I'm on OBS and it's free. And a lot of streamers are. A lot of Windows streamers use OBX. That'd be a good one. OBX. It's a combination of vMix and OBS. Not for you, Gibbs. You don't do Phil Collins covers. Yeah. I got a cover coming up on I got 2 covers coming up on my new album, though. One isn't really a cover. It's the theme song, Living in the Moment. Farkle in the chat, I'm going to call it, though. I got a cover of that coming, which is very interesting, I've got to say. And then another cover is just a cover I'm decided to do. But let's learn what the difference between OBS and vMix is, and maybe you might want to switch. Not me, though. You know, they don't make a Mac version? Like, come on, man. 2026 and you're only putting it out on PC, on Windows? Like, that's a fail, right? Especially in the creative market space. Creatives have been known for using Macs. Anyway.
It is awesome to see you, creator. We'll be conducting an OBS versus vMix feature comparison. You'll love this video because it will help you decide what live streaming software is best for your needs.
Wow, he's got the fast-paced music to pretend that he's young and hip, but he's not. He's older. How old do you reckon this guy is? Now, I'm saying it from a 50-year-old's point of view. I'd say he's a bit older than that. 55, 56? 50?
If you're already familiar with OBS Studio, stay tuned because I'm going to reveal features that I'm betting you never knew existed. A big thank you to Sammy Superstar from New Jersey for helping me uncover the available vMix features. Without his help, this video would have never been made. Thank you, Sam. You are the man. Go out and visit his channel. Let's get some.
Wow.
The primary difference between...
You know what's happened here? This guy watched a YouTube tutorial and it said, if you want to really reach the kids, you've got to be impactful. You've got to have lots of flashy crap and you've got to make it got to be enigmatic. Yeah, right. That's me. Vomiting green-faced man with love heart eyes. That's how I feel.
vMix and OBS is understanding their differences in the live stream industry. In order to gain access to the vMix software, you have to pay a minimum of $60, which gives you some features. These features are all figured out and pre-built into the program. The software works beautifully for Twitch and YouTubers, but it also shines with producers who need a solution for live TV, sporting events, and live corporate interviews. The interface sort of feels like a commercial production software product, and usability is not...
Oh, you're talking about XSplit. Right. Yeah, I remember seeing that. XSplit, yeah.
...overly intuitive. OBS Studio comes from the opposite side of the spectrum, where the software is 100% free and the code is open source. This means that features like plugins and scripts are all developed by...
While you're there doing a searchy search, Netsky, can you just search up to see if Wirecast is still a thing and how much it costs? Wirecast.
Programmers who absolutely love the software and they're donating their time. In other words, innovation is powered by love and not necessarily profit. And there's a literal army of programmers who have contributed to the software. In my opinion, the interface is easier to learn, but the software is like a box of loose wires. You need to tinker to make it do what you want. Okay, the first feature we're going to test for both programs is to see if it supports drag and drop. And then we're going to drag and drop a video, a MP3, a audio, and an image. We'll start with OBS. We'll put in the Fist Kid. Here he is here. Put him in. Okay, that works beautifully. We're going to put a movie in. That works too. Let's move the clouds below Fist Kid here. Boop. There we go. And the audio, does it take it? It does. It's not letting you hear it right now because of the audio settings, but it will accept both a ping, a MP3, and a movie MP4. It works beautifully. Let's move over to vMix and see if it works. Here's an MP3 into the first place. It works beautifully.
Yo, Comtech.
Clouds into the...
Comtech's on Valoria. How you doing, Comtech? Good to see you, man, on the Valoria.tv. Hello, welcome. I'm here. You're there. We're good. And a new platform, well, a newish platform. Everyone's coming over to Valora after the announcement for Trovo killing their live streaming features. Good to have you, man.
The second source, it works. And then Fist Kid number 3, it works. So they both support drag and drop into the programs. That's awesome.
Wow.
Now, in regards to the software
Good
working
feature.
on multiple operating systems, OBS will work with both Windows, Mac, and Linux. I can tell you that it has some issues with Mac systems. I mean, it does work, but some of the plugins won't work well.
Whoa. When did this video come out? Oh, okay. This is a 5-year-old video, folks. 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Okay, so, all right, fair enough. The last year that they did was a year ago. That's Wirecast. Yeah, okay. Thanks, man. Wow.
About Linux, if you have a Linux system and you have OBS installed on it, I would love to hear your opinion about it, whether it really works well with Linux. But I can tell you with confidence that vMix only works with Windows. So for this feature, I think that OBS wins over vMix. Okay, the next feature we're going to talk about is something called SRT. It stands for Secure Reliable Transport, and it is the new protocol to send your live stream data to YouTube or Twitch, okay? Both programs, both OBS Studio and vMix support this, and unfortunately, as it stands currently today, YouTube and Twitch and all the other venues do not accept the protocol.
Wow.
They're still...
He's got a doubling up of his audio, but I feel like it's intentional for the kids.
Sticking with RTMP, and that's the one that's responsible for all that latency that we have. But when this gets released, I want you to keep an ear to the tracks, and YouTube makes the notification that it accepts SRT, OBS and vMix will be ready to rock. So when that happens, it's going to be a game changer for live streaming, and it's going to be very exciting. Okay, so we're going to give this one a tie between both programs. All right, moving on. Okay, let's see if both programs have what's called a T-bar. Let's go to vMix right now, and as you can see, I've got the left screen and the right screen. If I move
never
this
used that
T-bar right here, look at that. It automatically works perfectly. If I go to OBS, we have a left and right screen, and lo and behold, version 26, right underneath the stinger pull down, there's a little T-bar here, and when I drag it, it also works.
I've never, ever used that.
Okay, the next one is to look and see which program allows for video scrubbing. In other words, you can queue up a video before it actually goes live to the audience, okay? So here we are at vMix, and both the preview screen and the live screen have their own scrubbing capability. So as you can see, I'm dragging the live preview area, and it scrubs it up just fine. And on the left here, I can move the cursor and designate where I want to start before I...
OBS has that, obviously. It's called Studio Mode. I guess that's a similar feature, same kind of concept.
Actually move it over to live view. Pretty slick, right? Let's go over to OBS Studio, and we only have one scrubber, and it is a little bit funky. Let's move the transition over. Okay, and I see that that the playhead is moving. If I hit pause, it pauses the live view, but how do I queue up the left side, the preview side? You have to click on it, then hit the replay button here, and then it plays it on the left. And if you hit pause, then you can modify it, and then you can bring it over to the right with the T-bar.
Okay.
It's not intuitive.
That's fair. If you were doing that in a live sense, yeah, you'd want to know how that works before you fiddled around with it. You wouldn't do, like, I just don't see any scenario where I'd do that while I'm live streaming. If you wanted to do that, you'd switch to studio mode and make sure it works, then switch out of studio mode and then do it. But he's got a point. Other people have been posting videos about Wirecast. Seems like it's still a thing. Okay. It's hard to beat OBS, man. OBS, I mean, it's free, dude. I've got to tie this up. OBS is free and it works and it's solid and yeah, it's good. I don't know. Yeah.
It's confusing. They need to put in a second scrub bar for the preview area. I'm going to give the win to vMix on this one. In fact, I'm going to give it a domination for vMix because it's so much easier. Well done, vMix. Okay, the next feature we're going to review quickly is bringing in comments from your social media into the feed so that you can react to the comments as you make your live. vMix has a piece of hardware called vMix Social. It's a standalone. It's a plugin, essentially. It looks like this. If I bring it up, it's fairly self-explanatory. You just click on the social media platform that you want to connect, and you fill out the necessary information, and you can bring that comment feed right into the live stream. Pretty slick. You can connect Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
So this is a version of multi-chat, but it's just for one chat at a time?
And IRC, which is really neat. OBS doesn't really have a native way to handle this. In order to pull it off on OBS...
You need a web browser, but it does.
you have to reference a web page that shows the comments and then bring that in as a URL.
Yeah, that's
modify
fair.
the CSS so that you get your colors right, and then use it. That's technically not what vMix is doing.
But what he's saying 5 years ago, yeah. But now it does. You can just pull it in, and you can interact with it and tweak it. So yeah, it's all the stuff he's talking about is no longer an issue.
I'm going to give the win to vMix on this one. I love the ability to have a native way to bring in the comments via that interface. The win goes to vMix. Okay, let's take a look at how these programs manipulate images. First, we'll take a look at vMix, and we've got a picture of Sammy here. I'm going to click the gear and select position. And as you can see, if you click the image down below here, it allows you just to move it around at will. If you hit the Shift key and drag your mouse, it affects the size. Then your cropping has to be done with these sliders here, okay? And it also provides a slider here for rotate, which is kind of nice, okay? Now, if I exit out of this and go into OBS, here's an image. It's a video. It looks like a thermonuclear blast or whatever. As you can see, it's got a bounding box around it, and it has these little squares. And this will allow you to very easily manipulate the size of the asset, okay? By dragging it. If you want to crop, that's easy too. You just hold down your Alt key in a Windows system and grab that handle, and now you can crop it by just dragging your mouse, which is very, very nice to have. And then finally, if you hold your Shift key down and hold a box, you can stretch it to anything you want. Now, in regards to rotation,
you can fill the hole.
All you have to do is right-click, go into Transform.
What was it? Fill the hole, use the hole, or patch the hole?
And edit transform, and you get this box here, which basically is equal to what you got in vMix. And then there's a rotation parameter here, and you just hit the up arrow or the down arrow. As you see, it's rotating now. So you do have that capability to rotate it. Now, in regards to usability, OBS gets the win. It's really nice to have bounding boxes with handles on the corners and in the midsection, because it's so much easier to manipulate size and cropping when you have that capability. So if vMix updates their system and provides that, they could get the win. Our next feature in OBS versus vMix is instant replay. Is it actually doable in OBS at no cost? The answer is yes. Does it do slow-mo? The answer is no, but I'm not 100% sure.
Instant replay, is that something that, like, I mean, only a sports... Oh, no, gamers would use that, surely, right? Yeah, gamers. That's, of course, yeah, I'm not a gamer, so I've never even thought about why would I need a replay of something I've said? I wouldn't need that. If I needed to replay it, I could just re-say it. You see what I'm saying?
I can tell you, though, there is a fantastic tutorial by Defrag. Check it out right here. Watch it. It's amazing. Like I said, OBS is a loose box of wires. It's going to take some tinkering to pull it off, but it is a slick result once you get it working. Now, in regards to vMix, it's an amazingly robust instant replay with all kinds of cool things that you can do in regards to recording a sporting event especially, and it will also give you slow-mo instant replay, which is really cool, but it's gonna cost you $700 to gain access to the functionality. So in regards to
what, $700 as an add-on? So I mean, that tells you what the cost of the software is going to be. Software is going to be close to $1,000, probably over $1,000, right? To play slow motion replays, you got to pay $700 additional. Get him out of there.
Gonna win. OBS is free. You don't get slow-mo. You're gonna spend $700 to get it with vMix. I mean, it really depends on who you are. I'm willing to bet that the average person watching this video isn't gonna drop $700 to get instant replay. So I'm gonna have to give the win to OBS just because most people who are watching this video are not going to be filming sporting events. Okay, let's talk about layers and find out which program handles layers better. We're going to talk about sources for the most part. Let's take a look at OBS. I've got some asteroids moving around here in this video, and I want to drop in a couple sources. Let's drop in an image of a speaker just for fun here. I'll shrink this down a little bit, and we'll put in some meat. Some
money's too tight
images,
for steak.
Guys, I don't know. All right, so there we have it. Now, controlling layers in OBS is really easy. All you have to do to change the order is actually drag the source down. And boom, there's the order change. See how it went behind the speaker? If I want to make the speaker below the meat, I just drag it on down. There you have it. So that is really a huge time saver.
How else would you do
that
it?
one thing alone makes OBS fantastic. Again, you can change the size by dragging the handles on the side. Manipulation of the layers is incredibly easy, but it gets better because if I hit a plus sign, I can hit group. And name it meat speaker.
Meat group.
Holder, right? Hit OK. And now I can make the meat part of that group. And when I turn that eyeball off, it turns them both off at the same time. This is very similar to Photoshop. That's how cool it is. And you can lock the whole group so that you can't move it. No matter how much you click it, it won't move. So when you have a lot of assets in one source, it becomes vital to have these kind of controls to quickly manipulate the...
I wonder how vMix does that, because that seems pretty normal, right, for layers and stuff. In Photoshop, you'd click, what was it, click and shift, and you'd go down the layer?
Layer order and the sizing and locking them or turning them off. So this is very easy to manipulate layers, and it is very, very cool to have for OBS. Now let's pop over to vMix and see how it handles it. Okay, let's open up the $100 input. I'll double click it, and the window that you want to select for all the layers, click multi-view. You've got a series of pull downs where you can select assets to show up within this multi-view.
That looks clunky. Yes.
These check marks represent what you can and cannot see when you add an asset. So for example, layer 1 would be the first layer. If I selected the clouds, it shows up, but it shows up above the dollar. I'm not sure why that is per se. It's kind of confusing, but let's add another asset here. I'll add the Fist Kid over top of that. And if I wanted to change his size, I'd click the position button and then I can change his size. Okay. If I go back to multi-view there, you can see it's fixed. You can drag him around a little bit. You can turn him off and on like that. If you want to add another input, which is essentially the same as a source, or forgive me, a scene at OBS, drop down, select that. Oh, God. Where is it? There should be another multi-view thing in here. I don't know. It's not intuitive. It is not intuitive. It is confusing. They used to only have 5 layers. The recent update now has 10. But nesting and controlling the assets within...
Yeah, it seems a bit clunky. They should be in the order that they are, like top layer, second layer, third layer to the bottom layer, right?
The inputs is just generally confusing as heck. And you can't even group them together. You can nest in nest. That's okay. But you can't lock the layers. You can turn them off and on view-wise, that's okay. But generally, this is really confusing. The win goes to OBS Studio. It's just easier to manipulate layers, and it's an easy wins every single time. I guess, you know, if you came in using vMix, you wouldn't really miss it. It's kind of like being born without an arm. You never had one, so why do you care?
What?
That's a terrible analogy.
You lost me. At that point, you've lost me. I was hoping that video would have gone into things like resource, like how heavy it is on your system. You know, you want to add, you want to stream 1080/30, or you want to do 4K, heaven forbid, or you want to do 720. Which one's going to be? I thought that's what that would be more about, but that was more about the logistics of how that software works, which, again, 5 years old doesn't really mean much in today. And I'll say this again right now, because I've got an M5 Max. The M processors, like when Apple went to their own silicon, they jumped ahead of the game in terms of forgetting the cost, because we all know they have the Apple tax, but the power that you can get from a very, very baseline laptop from Apple is far more powerful than what you'd need. Anyone that wants to start streaming could do it. You could do it on a MacBook Air or MacBook Air they're called, aren't they? Mac Air? There's MacBook Pro, there's MacBook, and there's the MacBook Air. Yeah. Oh, and they've got that new one, the Eco one as well, whatever that's called. The Emo one, is it emotional? But that said, there is a video that's going to also be interesting to note right now in our time of history, because I did pick up my M5 Max, and this video that has been linked out, I can't find it. Single-handedly the most powerful laptop I've ever tested. This is a video that Netskis wants us to watch. It's a PC-based machine. We're definitely going to do that, but if we're going to learn about Windows software like vMix, and now we're going to learn about a Windows-based laptop, I'm going to need a homebrew. I'm going to go and get that. You can watch a surfing clip. I'm interested to see how this rolls. First time we've gone on a quick break during a stream on the M5 Max. Is this set up correctly? Maybe it's not. We'll find out now. Did it work? Yes, one. So, yeah. Did you bring the waves with you?
So I won't be out here tomorrow, Arvo, by the sound.
It's looking pretty nasty, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Saturday's even worse.
Yeah, I saw that.
15, 16.
Holy shit. Ah, that was a nice ride. Thank you, Netskis. Thank you, man. That was what was that, earlier this week? Yeah. Before the weather changed and the water got massive. By the way, that was really cold out there. Maybe that was an indicator of what was coming. Cold water means there's swell coming? Nah. Why are your feet so white under the water? Well, I mean, most of the time my feet are in shoes and socks. I don't often see the water, see the sun as much. Is that it? I don't know. Anyway, exclamation pour if you're watching in the Kick stream, you're in the Kick chat, an exclamation pour. There's a spider up there. What is that? I think it's a moth. I just got side distracted. Side distracted? Yeah, that's right. What was I saying? Doesn't matter. Yeah, no, exclamation pour if you're in the chat, in the Kick chat, that would be a trigger. I've got a whole bunch of new alerts coming. You know what we should do? On the beginning of the month, we should, wait. Then it'd be every month. No. I got a whole bunch that I'm putting up there. They're going to be pretty fun. Either way, folks, thank you, Netskis. Dueling pauses. I do like a home brew on the weekend. And I did work. Uh-oh, that splashed. Got a little wet on my laptop. Oh, shit. How's it already dirty? The R and the T key, they're already got fudge on them. Perfect. Yeah, it's now worked in. Well, I've got the D brand skin on it, so, you know, and I got my little spray gun, my little air blower that I can blow all the dust and shit out. Nice head. Yeah, by the way, I should just taste this and verify that it's not off. It's good. It's good. That one that really was off the other week really frightened me. Let's learn about this, the most powerful laptop 3 days ago from a channel called Tech Notice.
Whatever you think the best Windows laptop is, the goalposts just move for miles. You've seen me say on the channel that like the best workstations I've tried is the MacBook Pro 16-inch with absolutely maxed version. Then you've got the P16 from Asus ProArt with RTX 5090, right? This laptop here takes the big laptops and workstation laptops to a whole other level. This is not 16-inch. This is not 17-inch. This is 18-inch laptop.
An 18-inch laptop. It's a good question. Well, I didn't ask the question. I'm going to ask this question. Why are 16 the biggest ones that Apple do? Didn't they used to do a bigger one? I feel like Apple did like a larger one way back when, like when I was doing graphic design school. I think they had did they have a 20-inch? Tech Notice is a great YouTube channel. He is way good at testing all the latest stuff. Cool.
It features RTX 5090 and so much more power. It's pulling almost double the wattage as we get on this one here.
Double.
And that's just the top of the iceberg. So let's see what this laptop can do. I hope you understand the size difference here, how much bigger this is. And I know this is a gaming laptop, and if you're new to the channel, obviously we look at this from creators' point of view, but that is what makes this interesting to me, because
I will say this gentleman has lovely camera presence and the lighting is fucking perfect. Great production. Snap, Netsky. Basically the production levels is like, I love that lighting. It's just, it's so beautiful and clean and like warm and welcoming. Yeah, really, really spot on. I mean, I try to do the same kind of thing for years here with my the color palette, I guess.
Cut any corners in terms of cooling and performance.
He does it well, yeah.
It's absolutely massive. Like, I've got the MacBook Pro and the ProArt P16 laid on top of each other, and it's basically the same thing.
Oh wow, that's a big machine.
This laptop in here. In terms of screen sizes, look at that.
I guess that begs the question: what is too big for a laptop? Like, and I mean, I don't really. I mean, I have taken mine with me, and with the Tracer touring and stuff, it came with me all over the world. But I feel like 16 inches. It seems, I think it's, I mean, with glasses on, yeah, okay. With glasses on, yeah, this is a good size, and the screen real estate's decent. As soon as you get somewhere, you plug it into a monitor anyway, but I don't know, like, do you need an 16, 17, 18? It was, yeah, 18, wasn't it? Yeah.
So we'll dive deeper into the performance of this laptop in a minute, but first let's talk about the specs. For CPU, we're running the AMD Ryzen 9 9955HX3D CPU.
Okay, so all of those numbers mean nothing to me. I don't know where that is in terms of the, you know, the productions, and I don't know what that meant. Is that like the top of the line Ryzen stuff, AMD?
Bit of a mouthful, but it's a 16-core CPU.
16-core CPU. I believe I'm a 32-core. No, 30. What? Actually, I should check that to be 100% clear about this Mac. More info. Where do you find that here? It's brand new, isn't it? Because now I'm on Tahoe as well, and yeah, I haven't really gone this deep into it. System report, isn't it? It's in the system report. Yeah, yeah. So total number of cores 18, 6 super and 12 performance. That's the CPU cores. So I've got 2 more cores in the CPU, but in the GPU there's an extra. I've got the upgraded GPU 40 core, and I got the upgraded because of all the video stuff that I do. But I kept it at 64 gig of RAM. I kept it at the 64 gig of RAM. Yeah. But 2 terabytes of internal. The thing is a beast. Ryzen 9 HX3D is way good as a laptop CPU. But didn't he say it draws double the wattage? I'll have to wait till we get to that part. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it looks, look, it looks powerful. It looks big and bulky and fat and probably what people want. But you are having to run Windows on it. And I just couldn't give a fuck about that.
And what makes this CPU special is not just the amazing 16 cores, but also 144 megabytes of 3D cache. I'm sure you've heard how good that is for gaming, but what about creators? We've got 64 gigabytes of RAM running at 5600 megatransfers per second. Apparently, they're SODIMM slots. We'll tear it down later and have a look if that's true. 2 terabytes of Samsung NVMe SSD, and apparently it's Gen 5 speeds. And there's another NVMe slot.
Oh, dude, just as I remember things, I'll just stop and tell you. With this M5, so I just did something earlier where I had to, what was it? When you change the sample rate for audio in OBS from 44 to 48, you have to restart OBS. And this is just a point of interest because he talked about SSD speeds. I know that the SSD inside this machine is even faster than they ever have been. I'm not kidding. When I say it said, do you want to restart now? I said, okay. And I went and grabbed my phone to fill the gap of time that it usually takes for a program to shut down and to reload. And I'm not kidding. I went to you, it said for this to take effect, you have to restart OBS. Do you want to restart now? And I said, okay. I clicked it, grabbed my phone and looked up and it was already there. It had already restarted. Like the quit and the restart, it took the snap of a finger. It was bizarre. I was like, we're already, and I thought that can't have done it. And I went and checked the sample rate and it changed it to 48 and it had restarted. It happened that quick. Moving files around and stuff, it's all like if you need, like I take my GoPro footage when I come back from a surf and dump it and then I move it across from an external drive to the internal and it's just like you can move like 60 gig in like less than 20 seconds. It just goes, wow, crazy. I'm good until at least 2031 on my Windows 10 machine. Well, I'm good on my M5 until another 4 or 5 years, I guess. So I went M1, probably go M5, probably go M10, keep it that. I'm pretty stoked. You know, this was expensive, but I sold Bitcoin and I sold my other one. And by the way, Bitcoin's down to 66,000. I'm going to buy a little more tonight. That buys part of it back. I sold my Bitcoin at 73,000, I think it was, some of it. So if I buy back at 66, I'm buying more and spending less. And the lower it goes, the more I buy back, and I'll just buy it all back. And the next thing I'm back to where I was, and I've got a laptop. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying?
4 speeds, which we'll find out later during the teardown. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. NVMe test, and we've got 13.9 gigabytes per second read speeds and 10.7 gigabytes per second.
10 gigabit a second read speeds from the SSD. Or that's the CPU? What's he talking? Crystal disk mark. Okay, a lot of these numbers don't mean shit to me, but the ones that do mean is write and read speeds. And I want to see bus speeds as well. I do know what you're saying. 66K, that's insane. It's insane to think that Bitcoin, you know, at some point last year it was 128K. Basically, it's halved, right? 60, 120. So I mean, I'm working more, and again now I've put myself down for anything, and I'm just going to start saving, and I don't know, it feels like now's the time.
So it's true. There's a Gen 5 NVMe inside.
NVMe,
GPU,
yeah, okay.
there is no other but the RTX 5090. But what's special about this one
Lucky
is
we're in
it's
early, right
got
on,
a
Netskees.
175 watt TGP power delivery, which in comparison to the ProArt P16 that you've seen me cover on the channel, has
175 watt GPU power. So in equivalent, we don't know what the GPU power is in the MacBooks, but the entire wattage is 140. So I guess it's a bigger screen, so you got more pixels to illuminate. Yeah, interesting.
130 watts delivered to the GPU.
Yeah, by the way, Netskees, does this get you going? Are you looking at that going, oh, I want it? I'm looking at it going, it looks big and clunky and a little bit cumbersome, but it looks powerful. But I'm also looking at mine thinking, dude, this is a slick machine of its own. I'm psyched on the M5, my bad.
There's a massive difference. It's not just the power inside.
Do you
that's
even notice, like, I don't know, I'm not doing this just for whatever, but do you notice that everything's snappier? Like, I go to press play on that.
It's got a lot more
Okay, at that point it wasn't as snappy, but
ports than any
it's almost the second as I snap it.
usual laptop for.
Before, you go back and watch even yesterday's stream or the day before, whenever we last streamed, and whenever we play a video, when I go to press it, there's a lag between when it actually responds.
Connectivity.
This
On
is
the
almost
left
an
side of the
instant.
laptop, we've got a
Stop. My hand's going down.
full-size SD card reader, which is fast. I'm getting 280
Stop.
plus megabytes per second with my.
That's just a subtlety, but in a live stream, like in the idea of streaming, that does make a difference. And I'll tell you what I could do, which I won't because some of the platforms don't allow it, but I could now bump my bit rate to like 1200. Like I could bump it right up to the max. Like I think YouTube now allows, 1200,000, 12 meg, but Twitch still only allows 6. I did bump it up to 6.5, thinking Twitch won't notice. Actually, I should just check that. Am I live on Twitch? I think I'm okay. Yeah, I'm still good on Twitch. Yeah, they want 6,000 or 6 meg, but I bumped it up to 6.5, thinking I just don't care. Hello, Twitch. Although I should care because Twitch is the big one. I've got 84 followers on Twitch. Oh, you know what else I did? I completed the task on Kick to get every single entry into that competition. And you know how I did it? I played hot tub streams while I slept. I found a hot tub streamer, a real cute girl who obviously is playing a looped video as a live feed because she's in this one outfit, and I pressed play on it and I was like, oh, wow, and I sat there watching for a bit and then I went to bed. And then in the morning when I woke up, I turned the monitor back on and she was still there. And I was like, there's no way she's still up. It's been like 8 hours and she's still fresh and like sitting there. And so then I went to work and came back, still there. Just a looped video, probably like maybe 30-minute video just on repetition. And the chat's pumping off like, oh, do this, do that. It's like, it's not real, man. But I got that, and I watched all the tiers I needed to watch to get to the end of that competition. Wait, where's my mouse? Oh, my mouse wasn't there.
My V90 cards. 2 USB Type-A ports at 5 gigabits per second speeds. On the back of the device, we've got HDMI 2.1 supporting up to 8K 60Hz, RJ45 port with 2.5 gigabit Ethernet speeds,
wow,
and a power adapter port, which is 400 watts. 400 watts.
Holy
Can we just
shit.
stop there for a second? That's ridiculous. On the right side of the device,
400 watt power supply. Crikey. Rewards are temporarily paused on Gives a Minute's channel. Is that right? Not sure why it's saying that. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to that. Maybe it's because I was watching too much hot tub streamers.
we've got 2 times USB 4 ports with power delivery and display output. Also,
I don't know,
Thunderbolt
dude.
4 compatible. Another USB Type A, 10 gigabits per second speed, and headphone and mic combo jack.
So just remember, if you want faster ports, go on the right side of the laptop because the USB Type A is faster on that side than on the left side. So in terms of the keyboard and trackpad, The trackpad is a diving board, so no haptic. There's clicks actually quite high up as well if you want to get there. There is a fingerprint reader on here. We've got a full numpad on the right side, not so separated, but it's a very nice keyboard from Steel series, so they've collaborated with them. Very nice key travel, and you can customize every single key.
See, I don't want to be rude, but I don't like the look of that at all. It looks just very industrial, like. I mean, looks aren't everything, but I don't know. I don't like that. I wouldn't be happy with that. Maybe you never turn them on, but when I click on the points below the chat, that's what it says. I'm not too sure what that's about, dude. I don't. Maybe you've got to be affiliated for the points to happen. I don't know.
And if you're a gamer, you can see that these keys are slightly different.
The next thing to test with this monster is performance. How close is it to desktop performance? Can it beat the maxed out MacBooks and the best of Windows laptops I've tried? Well, here we go.
Okay, let's test this performance then. Firstly, there's a few power settings that you can do on it. If you hit function key and then F7, you can cycle through different ones, and this one there, the second one on the left, is the power performance mode. There is also a way to just put the fans in full utilization by hitting function key and F arrow up. Oops, not that. The function key and arrow up will take your fans all the way full speeds. So we are
did that say choose a Microsoft account?
in Cinebench R24 right now, and I'm going to press start. Basically, what this test allows us to do is check the CPU performance. This is actually a real workflow that some of the creators use, just CPU rendering, something like that. So we'll see how well is it doing that. Right now, we're pulling 130 watts from the CPU, which is really, really quite a lot.
Do people, like, I mean, people do, but do you still like Windows is, like, I guess they're all kind of similar these days, but I don't know. My point here is, fuck that. No way I ever use it. You don't use Windows? So you're a PC guy, right? So what's your operating system?
This is one of the highest I've seen in a laptop. We're still at 75 degrees and it cools it down really well. Now, as you can see over here, we are at 75 degrees. I'm going to hit the fan speed at maximum just to see how much better the cooling would be if we just hit max cooling. Now, the fans are quite loud, as you can hear probably, but the temperature
you mean the Microsoft account? Don't you need one to access Windows though? Oh, there's always cracked Windows, wasn't there? But I'm assuming, and this is coming from someone who doesn't know, but I'm assuming that Windows would have cracked down on all those cracks by now, right? Or can you still get a cracked copy of Windows, not 98, but whatever the XP or whatever the current one is, and then just like use everything? No, wasn't there one called Cortana? There's always ways around that bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, that was always a bit weird because I do recall back in the my PC days, you'd buy, like I remember buying a PC, like a tower, and it came with Windows already activated. Like the store had done it, and I didn't have to do anything. It was like you're on Windows, and I was like, yeah, but whose account am I on? Like, who paid for it? And they're like, that's just how it comes. And then you'd go to someone else's house and they'd be like, I need a cracked version of it. I'm like, well, how come though? Because I bought a PC and it came with it already installed, running. I never understood that. And then someone said, oh, you got to get Windows NT, man. It's better. And I'm like, but mine already, like, tell me why it's better. Tell me what else it does. They preload that shit, but they preloaded it, but it was already running. Like it wasn't like this is preloaded. You've got to just add your account to it and off you go. No, it was already like it was signed in and going, which is a bit frightening when you think about it. Yeah, actually that's probably a horrible thing to do because if that was today and then let's say you added like, I don't know, like crypto wallets and extensions and stuff through Chrome or something, then the person who did sign in could like remotely access it. I always bypass all that bullshit. Yeah, I've forgotten how I forgot how that works on a Windows machine though, because you have to go through that BIOS setup, right? Does it still come up there with that star? And then the little green star comes up on that black screen. Does that still happen? Comtech, always use a decrapifier on a new computer. Decrapify. That's what I've been doing for the last 2 days. I've taken this machine and I've started from nothing, and I've sat here with my other machine and I've gone like, I need that program. Okay, put it on here. Take all of the settings and copy and paste, but don't send my profile over. Create a new profile with a new password with the new settings. Yeah, it's been a fun couple of days actually.
Hasn't changed that much. We are still at 75 degrees, so only 2 degrees lower. On a GPU, I'll show you, that makes a much more bigger difference. So it seems that maybe some of the heat pipes that are going over the CPU, it just doesn't need to cool it down. 76 degrees is still very, very good, and 130 watts constantly pulled like this at 75. On a laptop, I don't know if you know how impressive this is. We'll see the score, but right now, we're looking at around 1,900 points. Okay, over 2,000 now. Okay, it finished the score and it's 2,004 points. Bear in mind, I've got the hardware info open on the...
Removes the games en masse instead of doing 20 separate uninstalls. Oh yeah, Windows always shipped with games, didn't it? Yeah, like little... Oh, well, chess. Did that come on this Mac? Let me just check.
Side. But we are the fastest Windows laptop
I
have
is
ever
here.
tested.
Chess is here.
By far. The second best is Asus ProArt, and that is 1,600 points. So we are about 25% faster. I'm going to close the hardware info,
Game Center.
and I want to know if we can
Chess.
actually get a better score. I'm going to have
I'm
to
not gonna play it.
uninstall some of the floatware to see if we can get it a little bit better. Just a quick restart. Same test. Let's go. So we just completed the test and we're 2,137 points. That is officially the fastest laptop that I have ever tested. So there was antiviruses and some stuff running in the background, which obviously I killed off. This is seriously impressive. M4 Max, that's the best laptop so far, that got 2,090 points. We are 47 points higher.
Has he not
2,130.
Has he not tested an M5 Mac yet? He's not saying the M4 is more powerful. Surely not. I just bought the M5, you idiot. No, the M4 is not more powerful.
37 points. Okay, let me put that in perspective. You see, just outside the shot over there is our editing machine, a full-size desktop with 13900K in it. That gets the same similar score as this one here. This laptop has the same performance as that 13900K, which pulls 253 watts. Almost double the wattage what this laptop can do, yet the same score. That's absolutely ridiculous, to say the least. And I've never seen anything like that on a laptop before, and I guess that's why it's so thick. Now, CPU performance is one thing. This has the monster
mentions the M5.
of
Okay, cool.
5090 inside with 175 watts TGP. So
Yo, Hendrik, how you doing, man? It's why I still use the 2015 iMac. I have a faster machine, but it runs Windows 11. I can't deal with Windows anymore. Wait, you're running Windows on your Mac? Oh, yeah. You used to have, you were dual booting, right? Boot Camp. Is it called Boot Camp? I remember that. Yeah, you were doing the double thing, yeah.
It's true. So what I've got here is Firmark. So this basically is a temporary or very synthetic way of just testing how much graphics power are we running through. So this is a 4K test and it's running in 109 frames per second. And look at that. Our GPU is pulling 175 watts. So we're pulling that. Now, I don't even have the fans at 100% speed, and we are at 50 58 degrees at the moment. So we'll leave it for a bit and then see how hot is it gonna get.
Wait. He's saying that's 112 frames a second? That's jittery as all shit.
Even have the fans at 100% speed.
What resolution are we watching this at? Oh, I'm going to bump it up. I'm bumping up to 4K, see what happens.
We are at 58 degrees at the moment. So we'll leave it for a bit and then see.
That's not a very, I mean, that thing's running at 110 frames a second. That should be buttery smooth. 60 frames is buttery smooth. Hendrik, Boot Camp was more 15 years ago, but I only used it for the work stuff. But you were still running Windows on your 2015 iMac. Oh, you say you have a faster machine, but it's a Windows machine. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Is it going to get? Because it is heating up. It's actually crazy. I've never tested it up to now. But basically, seriously impressive. Okay, so we've run the test for a couple of minutes now. So we're 2 minutes and 50 seconds roughly in. And what you can see over here is that the temperature test is kind of plateauing. What's happening there is it got hot and then the fans kicked in and then it went lower, a bit hotter. So the fan speed kind of keeps it at around 70 degrees. Now, if I put the fan speed at full speed like that, take a look at what happens with the temperature. It's the yellow graph that we want to follow here. So, as you can see, we have dropped quite a bit. We are at 60.3 and 60.2 degrees. That is 9.5 degrees lower. We've just dropped 10 C.
I see what you're saying,
so
Hendrik.
Not only is it super powerful, the cooling really can keep up with it, which is insane. In this room right now, there is 23 degrees. Now, synthetic GPU benchmark, it's good to know how the power management works, but what about the actual performance? So if you're in a creative application, it can't actually utilize all of the power. So what about the P16 with RTX 5090 that can only pull up to 130 watts? This 170 watts, let's do the test. This is Cinebench R26. And what we're able to do here now is measure the GPU performance. And what I want to know is how much better is it compared to some of the desktop variants, 5090, 5080, is it 5070 Ti? Where does it line up? And how much, oh my goodness, it's already done. I reckon this is the best GPU performance on a laptop. So,
but everything he's saying, the fan is firing up there. Like that's an audible hiss that we can hear. I wouldn't like that if I mean, I'm a bit sensitive, but I wouldn't like that hissing. You'd have to EQ that out with a compressor and stuff. Not a compressor. You'd have to just EQ it out, whatever the frequency is, and just dump it down. Remember I used to do that? What was it? I had to do something like that for, I think when I had the iMac back in the day, I was EQing out the fan noise. Yeah.
Just for reference, the MacBook Pro M4 Max with 128 gigabytes of RAM. So the best laptop that Apple currently offers. Okay, since I have the M5 Max now in the studio and I can actually tell you the difference between the new best what Apple offers, then the M5 Max gets 94,500 points, somewhere around that. Not quite as fast as the RTX 5090, but still impressive on a battery and what Apple's doing. But still, this MSI is about 10 to 15% faster. And that got 69,000 points. This here is 104,500.
Wow, that's a lot more points.
RTX 5080.
Hendrik, I prefer Mac OS since the newer machines hardly get turned on. Yeah, me too, dude. Me too. I'm a Mac guy through and through. Nothing's going to change that. Like, sure, there's an Apple tax. You pay more for it. You know, $7,000 for a laptop is a lot of money, but the way I equated it was, well, I'm selling one for $2,000 and I'm using my AdSense from YouTube and I'm selling Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, no matter how you sell it, it's still an expensive machine, but that's just the cost, you know? That's just what they cost. Dude, people are paying $3.20 a litre for fucking diesel right now, you know? You might say, well, they have to because they need to drive. You don't have to spend money on a laptop. No, but There's some things in life that you just want to have enjoyment with, you know? It's like a hobby or something, like a pastime. I'm not justifying it, but I'm justifying it because I know it's a lot of money.
Underneath here, this is my personal rig with RTX 5080, gets 108,000 points. So this is within a couple of percent, within the margin of error of the desktop RTX.
How are petrol costs affecting my work? Let me just tell you this. My boss will call me and say, go to this service station to fill up. This is like 4 cents cheaper than that one. Last night, $1.35 a litre. $1.35. I put in 40 litres. It was $138. Expensive, dude. Let's just be clear. The dearest fuel that I've ever seen was with Marty at a place called Curtin Springs, where it was $3 a litre, but it wasn't. It was $2.99 a litre because the guy in the thing said we don't want to put the 3 up there because if I make it $3 even, people get really upset. But like just $2.99 somehow feels better, but $3. So if that was the dearest in remote, rural, central Australia, like arguably the most remote you can get, right? Well, there's a road there, and now in suburbia, last night, $3.28. Farkle in the chat, man.
Has extra 8 gigabytes of VRAM, which is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, and now we got 106,000 points, literally within margin of error of the RTX 5080 desktop variant. I hope you understand how ridiculous of a GPU this is inside here. It's absolutely bonkers.
Next, the display. Arguably one of the most important aspects of a laptop since you're staring at it at all times. Again, this is where the MSI Raider A18HX does not disappoint.
Looks clean, doesn't it?
An 18-inch 4K mini LED panel with 120 Hz refresh rate. We're talking about 2 million to 1 contrast ratio, 1000 nits brightness, 100% DCI P3 color space. Whether you're a creator or just enthusiast, these are some mean specs. When testing them side by side with the best panels I've got in the studio, MacBook Pro, M4 Max 16-inch and Asus ProArt P16 with the best Windows display.
This is the Narkle Farkle Club. Hendrik, I love that, dude. The Narkle Farkle Club. I don't know what both of those words mean. Knuckle is knuckle. What the hell does Farkle mean? But I like that, dude.
On a 16-inch, the
Narkle Farkle Club.
The MSI is not just keeping up with the best displays, but also looks brighter than the tandem OLED next to it, and the MacBook kind of looks like old technology.
So seeing all the 3 laptops side by side is absolutely fascinating. So we've got the MSI on one side, and this is the best what Windows can offer on this side, which is the tandem OLED 16-inch. But side by side, whatever the specs say, the MSI looks brighter. I mean, you can clearly see it on the video. I'm looking at the bright bits of the image. It's just insane. This 16-inch MacBook Pro looks like an old technology and so small. Like these.
That's really funny because as soon as I powered up mine for the first time yesterday or the day before, and I put it next to the M1, I was like, wow, that monitor looks so rad. Like compared to the M1, this is somehow brighter and cleaner. And if he's saying that compared to the M5, this MSI thing is even better, I'm like, wow, does that mean my eyes will be back to normal? Because this already looks amazing. And also, the other thing I was going to say, which I forgot to say, is because I had to use Mac OS Tahoe, it's the old saga of when you get a new Apple computer, they ship with the most current operating system and you can't roll them back. We discovered that with my M1 experience. So you're forced to do everything like fresh, like all the upgrades and everything, because you need to use Tahoe. And that means I've got liquid glass. If anyone's got an iPhone and they update it to whatever the current, I think it's OS 26 or whatever, it's all liquid glass on here. That's also across the laptop, the Mac OS. So it's liquid glass, all the curved corners and the transparencies. And at first I was like, fuck, I don't want that, man. I didn't even want it on my phone. It was a little bit, well, okay. And then finally I got used to it. But on my laptop, I was really, like, initially I was bummed at that. And then what I did was every single program that I use and every browser and everything that allowed me to, I chose dark mode. So I'm on dark mode for everything. For the first time ever, I'm just going dark. Once you go black, I've gone black. I'm gagging on it. Everything is dark and it's beautiful. And somehow the liquid glass doesn't bother me. It's only been 2 days, and most of it's been setting up, like installing and like running comparison tests and doing all that crap with one laptop and this one. And when I go back to the M1, I was like, ugh. And then back to this, I'm like, yeah, the glass, the liquid glass and dark mode across the board is way more pleasant, and it's somehow like sensory, like, you know, I understand some people have a different reaction and a different sensory overload. I can say that looking at this machine is way more easygoing than looking at the old one. Yeah, but and that blew me away. Always chop an onion before comparing screens. It clears the tears. That's pretty cool. Actually, today was the day that I sat with my 2 laptops, and I actually, okay, so I've been doing this process of comparing and dumping across and all that. And at one point yesterday, I said, okay, I've got everything done. I can now reformat that M1, factory reset, remove it from my Find My and all that stuff, getting ready for the sale. I thought I'll just hang off on that for one day. I just want to use this for one day and just make sure, because I know I'm going to forget something and I'll have to go back over there for something. And the first thing that I forgot was sticky notes. I had some stuff in stickies notes, and I was like, shit, man, if I had formatted that, I would have lost those stickies. So I went and did that. And then I sat back and I was like, yep, okay, I'm good. So I erased the hard drive and formatted it and went back to the start and installed. It only let me do Securia, whatever that's called, Secura. It wouldn't let me do Tahoe on that for some reason, but I did it anyway, and I installed it all, and then I cleaned it all and put it in the box, shut it down, put it in the box, and then I went to this machine, sat here, and I opened up Photoshop, and the first thing I forgot to send across from that one, all of my Photoshop preset exports. So like for a thumbnail, to resize it for YouTube and to add some not compression, portraiture and cleaning up the image and sharpening on exit and all that. And my droplets, all that stuff, I was like, was on there. It's not really that much of an issue. I can just recreate them, but I was like, fuck. Didn't you hand the old one over yesterday? No. Oh, I might have said he was coming on Friday. I might have said that. He was coming on Friday, and then I got asked to work, and I said, look, I'm going to say yes to every shift. So I worked yesterday. Till late, actually. I did an afternoon shift, and so he's coming on Sunday. Hey, Woz, after Nizzle, how's the new lappy? Dude, Woz, now that you're here, everything's great, and I'm super psyched. I will say this, though, about the D-brand skin. For those that are just joining us, I'll cut to the overhead. I've got a beautiful skin here on the laptop. This is, well, it's already a black machine, but now I've got like this black coating on top, and you look on here, on the top feature and on the bottom there, and it's all beautiful and it all fit in really lovely, and it's there for protection, and everything's rad with that. However, I will say this, I don't know which one you got, but I got the matte black D brand, and I don't really like the trackpad. So when I had the 2 machines side by side and I was running with the trackpad on that, I like how like slippery and how clean this feels like I'm touching a wetsuit. It works, but, and I realize it's there for protection, and I can easily take it off if I don't want it. But I just wonder if it's because I got the matte black one. Maybe you got a different D brand and it's a bit slicker. Mine feels a little bit harder on the touch. You didn't add the trackpad sticker. Okay. Well, look, I mean, at some point I might take it off and just go naked with the trackpad, but I'm going to leave it for a while because it's like new things. When you get something new, it always feels different, which doesn't mean it's bad, but it feels different to what you're used to. And then within a week or 2, you'll be like, oh, I don't even notice it anymore. So I'm going to leave it for a while and just roll with it. But I don't like that. But everything else, like, dude, this thing is a beast. I mean, I'm streaming right now from it with the 1080-60, and the CPU is under 3% CPU. Do you remember when we were doing the IMAX streams? We used to get up CPUs of close to 50%, and the thing would just... Remember, we used to shut down. Remember, we'd just be streaming, and it would be like... The whole thing would just shut down. So this is a beast. I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like everything is exactly how I need it. Like, my setup is running just perfectly. There was a couple of different issues I had with the CalDigit TS5, just with USB buses and stuff, but we've sorted all that out. I have 3 cables in. I have 3 CalDigits. I've got a TS3, a TS4, and a TS5 Plus, and basically all 3 of the Thunderbolt ports each have 1 cable in, and each cable goes out to one of those docks. And in those docks, I have my monitors and lights and stream decks. And when I'm finished streaming, I just yank out 2 of the cables and leave 1 in, and the one that stays in there runs everything that I need for my workstation, my setup when I'm editing music and stuff. It's a beast and a half, dude. It's 2.8% CPU. We're streaming 1080-60. Every monitor you could conceivably add to this is plugged in, and it's all powered up. And I'm running 2 stream decks and a Rode Procaster 2. I bought. Oh, this is pretty cool. I bought a. I can't show it to you because it's running, but I bought a powered USB. It's not a dock, like an extension, like one USB goes to 10 USBs, and they're all individually powered and individually with a button, and it's powered by 240 volts AC. So I can plug in external hard drives and things like charging my GoPros. They sit there and I can just plug them in, and then they just charge with one press of a button. They just power up and start charging, and it all comes back into the CalDigit TS5. It's so sick, man. Hendrik, I feel like the MacBook Neo, that's the one I was thinking of, might even be worthwhile. Dude, the MacBook Neo, that's on the M5, right? The M5 chip, the base level M5, I think. I just sold one of my drones for another beast, the new DJI 360 drone. Wow. I got to update my drone. Maybe I should do that before I go away. Nah. But for comparison's sake, we are looking at this video here of a very high-spec, high-level Windows laptop.
Side by side. I mean, look at the difference now. Can you see how much brighter that is compared to this? It's absolutely ridiculous. And the 18-inch is amazing. I mean, it's not 1440p, it's not 2K, 3K. It's a 4K panel. It's incredible amount of pixels.
That is insane. And by the way, that brightness he's frothing at, that does come in play with a laptop, because what's the idea of the laptop? You can take it outside, you can go wherever you want. The brighter the display, the clearer you're going to see that in daylight when you're sitting under a tree on your lunch break. I get that. I'm happy with mine, but the brighter you can get them, the better.
Looks amazing. I am really impressed. Okay, I thought while I have the laptops side by side, let's test the speakers as well, because apparently this is...
right, Hendrik, my bad. The Neo is the A18, the iPhone chip. That's right. Sorry, I did know that, dude. I did know that. They put an iPhone chip into the laptop. That's all good, and that's all fun and true and good and gamey and good vibes, but can they do the other way around? Can they put the laptop chip into the iPhone? Can we get an iPhone 17? What are they up to? 15, 16? Can they get an iPhone 17 with the M5 processor? Now that's what I want to see.
6 speakers. So, MSI on. Hardly any bass. That is significantly better, and that's the ProArt P60.
There's no way you can do a comparative audio test on a YouTube video. We're hearing it through our own speakers, and like you've got a microphone there. Speaker is shit on speaker is shit on all. I don't. I mean, it's not shit, but you just can't adequately test it. My standard iPhone 17 is. You got an iPhone 17, Hendrik? You've upgraded, you little sneaky bugger. I thought I was up to speed with the iPhone 15, and you got 17s now. Get out of here. I'm happy for you.
These two are very, very similar. Yeah, the speakers aren't very good. So just pull the back cover off and the teardown is very, very easy. All the screws are exactly the same size and, well, there is a lot of them, but it just very simply comes off and you don't need to worry about anything. So opening this up is super, super simple. So there's some interesting things happening there. Firstly,
the screen went out on the iPhone XS. Even that was great. Yeah, dude, that was the 10, right? The 10S. Yeah. Chunky monkey. That's the thing. You're a Mac guy like me. Like, this is impressive, this laptop. And I'm not throwing any shade to it, but it is a fat, funky, thick slab of, like, at some point there has to be like the conversation of how much can you lug around? Like, you want to go into the park and render video, sure, that's going to be the better one to do it, but you got to carry it. I don't know, like, I feel like there's a sweet spot, and we were saying earlier before you got here, how did Apple decide the sweet spot was 16 inches? Because this is 18 inch. So who decided that? And didn't Apple do a bigger one at one point? I feel like there was a larger. I feel like I had one. I think I had one. I think I had a larger than 16 inch laptop one time. So how did they decide 16 inch? Given you're sitting like 2 to 3 feet away from it, because it's how far your hands have to be to hit the keyboard. I feel like 16 inch is probably pretty standard. Like, it seems like a pretty good size. I'm not ever, when I'm outside or when I'm in the field or whatever, I'm never thinking I really need another monitor to do this task. I'm like, I can just make those windows smaller or whatever. But these guys have gone with 18 or 19 inches, I think. Yeah, that's it. It probably comes down to what fits in most backpacks. Yeah, that's true. I somehow thought you were going to say that. About the ripping it out. It can't be that much heavier. It just looks bigger and bulkier and heavier.
You can see loads of heat pipes and it makes sense why it is so well cooled. Also, these fans are very, very thick. You can see on the sides how thick they are, that you usually don't see that type of thing. That's why they just blow a lot of air through from both of these sides. So air goes in from there and then exhaust.
Oh wow, there you go. I like the 16, but I went with the 14 from my M4. Interesting. And am I remembering correctly, is the 14 was that the year that they said or is that this year? One time they announced, they said the 14 and the M4 or the M5 is the same as the M5. No. It didn't matter if you got the bigger or the small one. They were both the same specs. Was that this year? I think that was this year's announce, which is pretty impressive. They're like, you can either get the bigger or the smaller, but you got the same power in both of them. That's real impressive, actually.
Sides, and it works there as well. One of these is CPU, one of them GPU. I'm not sure exactly which one, but you don't.
You got the 14-inch M4 Pro with 24 gig of RAM. 24. That feels a bit low to me. Mind you, it's all the system on a chip, so you don't need. Because let's not. Okay, before we. I know I'm pausing everything, but when Apple announced their Apple Silicon, the idea of RAM, random access memory, became, and before I do this, or before I try to explain this, I'm not very tech savvy in regards to all that inner details, but I understand the concept. Random access memory is memory that's used in a program that isn't necessary for long, like you need to do a task, something needs to happen, and to have that happen, you need to have this access to this pool of memory. And so the memory gets shunted to this task, and then you can perform that task, and then that memory just dissolves, and then you go back to doing the thing, whatever. And so before Apple had their own silicon, they were always writing that task to a separate piece of memory. And so there was this constant shunting between, and that's what they call busing. They were busing this, and this is talking millions and millions of processes per second, but they're shunting this information back and forth, back and forth, back and forward. And that's when not only did the size of the RAM become vital, but the speed of the RAM super important, because if you're shunting all this information to have this process to occur, it's going back and forward, back and forward. But then Apple, they were always working in the back end. They were always trying to design their own system on a chip. They called it SoC, which means that instead of sending information from the processor back to RAM and then back to the processor, it all contains on its own chip. It's all there. So there's no movement. So you can do these processes and you can achieve the same speed and the same computations, but not having to off shunt and bring back on the information. And so the idea of having more RAM and faster RAM almost became like irrelevant, like not irrelevant, but nowhere near as the bigger metric as it used to be, because it's all contained on the one chip. And so when I first saw that you got 24 gig of RAM, I was like, that seems small, but it only seems small in a few years ago. In today's standard, that doesn't. When you're talking, Apple Silicon, the M4, it's for digital work, design, and even video editing. Never had an issue. Yeah. Hendrix on a pension. Netsky, there's a beam stream, Netsky, with a little thank you for that, man. Yeah, I guess. I mean, look, I'll be honest. That's why in this instance, when I upgraded from the M1 to the M5, I chose to stay at 64 gig of RAM. I could have gone to 128, but I thought about it. I'm already paying $7,000 for this machine, and the base level of storage space has jumped up to 2 terabytes, which I'm super thankful for. Fuck you, Final Cut. Final Cut takes up nearly all of that, so I won't have to deal with all that shunting around because of Final Cut. I'll have to deal with it later on with more. I won't have to deal with it as often, but I'll have to still. But anyway, so I was like, okay, 2 terabytes is fine. I'm going to upgrade the GPU because I'm doing graphic everything. So I need the higher spec graphics. So I did that. And then I was looking at the total cost. It was $7,200. And I was like, that's everything. Like, am I going to upgrade the RAM for another $1,000? But we're talking about system on a chip? No. No, 64 gig has worked perfectly for me for the last from cycle M1 through to M4, now M5. So I don't need to upgrade. So I just thought, I said to myself, I've never hit a limit. I've never hit a limit in RAM either. So instead of putting money into RAM, I'll be honest, if they didn't do 2 terabyte minimum internal SSD, I would have upgraded to 2 terabytes because I'm dead set sick of having to delete all my rendered files in Final Cut every 3 weeks. I'm over that shit. So now I've got a buffer of 2 terabytes, which is great. They did that out of the gratuitousness of their Apple hearts. They also charged you for it, but yeah, that's the minimum. You can't go any lower. You could have gone up to 4, and I'm like, I'm not doing 4 terabytes, but yeah. It's funny though, like what we're talking about now, even, I mean, go back to 2018, just before COVID, during the heyday of DLive, the golden era, I was streaming from an iMac here that was sitting on I had a chair behind it or something. I had a little yellow stool, had my camera sitting on a stool with an iMac that would randomly shut down because it got too hot. And then I got an Intel laptop, and you remember we had not an argument, we had a discussion about, I used to put ice behind it. I used to put a little bucket of ice behind it to suck in cold air. And you were like, dude, don't do that. That's bad for it. And I'm like, but cold air coming in's got to be good. It's overheating. It's like, no. And we bought I I bought like a riser pad that had fans in it, and you're like, you can't create a false environment for the machine. The machine has to power and be powered and be powerful enough for its environment. If you give it a phony, if you keep pumping air through it, you're lying to it, and eventually it's going to fuck out. And now the point of that is now we've got as Hendrik said, the base level MacBook Neo. Now, actually, I should be careful here because I don't know much about that, but actually, I'm gonna walk that back. I was gonna say that's gonna be power. I wouldn't recommend that for streaming. I'd recommend the base level M5 or M4. At this point in 2026, I'd recommend the M4 if you want to do a stream. You know what I'd recommend? Holy shit. If I'm going to recommend anything, and it's not that I'm trying to sell mine because I got a guy coming tomorrow for it, but get an M1 Max. Get the M1 Max. They're 5 years old or 4.5 years old, and they are super. Now, you don't need to put in 5 monitors and do all this crazy crap. You can just do one single monitor and using no cal digits, no TS3s, 4s, 5s. You can just go a single monitor. We did it. I did it in Tasmania where I took my laptop and this person had a random monitor. We plugged it in and we live streamed. The only fallback there was that we were streaming from 4G on my phone, but the machine handled it like easily, right? Yeah. So my point here is things have advanced super quick, and it's all been catalysted. It's all come from Apple with their silicon on a chip, the system on a chip, the Apple Silicon. It's amazing, dude. Should have bought Gibbs' M1, dude. Look, I'm not being the guy that wants to try to sell you my old machine, but you guys have seen it. I've sat here for 4 years. I mean, I've taken it on road trips. I've taken it to Tasmania. I took it to New Zealand. It's been traveled, but it's been very well looked after. It's in mint condition, and it is a beast. And it's the upgraded GPU again, and it is such a good machine. Yeah. He said it. What did I say? Someone water cooled the Neo and got the same performance as the current MacBook Air. Water cooled. They're still going for over 3K in New Zealand. Yeah. I mean, the M1 was amazing. When I got that, I'd gone from an iMac that was randomly shutting down to an Intel-based MacBook Pro, which was struggling. We used to have to Hendrik, do you remember that there was a specific order you had to turn shit on? Like if I wanted to cut to the GoPro behind, you had to turn that on like after you opened up OBS, and you had to, and it was all this finicky stuff. And then I got the M1 Max, and I was like, this is the shit. Like this is so good. And now the M5, and it's sitting at 2.9% CPU, and we got dude, I'm getting a little toasty here. I like tech. They say tech is hard. I don't. Tech is easy. Life is hard. Oh, shit.
Really need to know. Then what we have in here is the power delivery, and VRAM are also cooled by all of these heat pipes. As you can see, there's so many
VRAM is
pipes,
virtual RAM?
7 altogether or something like that. And then you can see another little heat pipe here on top of this Gen 5 NVMe SSD. So you can see that is plugged into over there. I don't want to pull this off because there's some kind of thermal compound underneath there, even though I could replace
That's the SSD, the NVM SSD. They're so small these days, aren't they? NVM, like that's such a sick technology. Just super, super, super small SSDs.
I'm just can't be bothered doing that. There is a Gen 5 plugged into there, and there is an empty slot underneath there. You can see that nothing is plugged into there. So you can easily add another Gen 5 NVMe there if you want to. This big black square
What is that?
Is actually where your RAM is. And underneath
Oh,
here,
wow.
look, SODIMM slots, 2 of them, and this is 64 gigabytes.
I wonder why that RAM's covered up with that little... What would the RAM need to be covered up? Is that a heat disperser? Maybe.
Means that you can also upgrade this to 128 gigabytes. Obviously not at this economy, but in theory, if that makes sense, which would make this an insane workstation.
Wait, you guys are talking about spilling wine? It's a cooling heatsink, yeah. Hendrik, did you? Oh, that's right. You spilled wine on your laptop or something. That's not as bad as me dropping my iPad into the bath.
Then what you can see.
By the way, have never had a bath since then. Never gonna. Oh no, that's not true. I did have a bath. Not here. Not here. Not here.
There is a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi
Oh,
card.
good Lord. My CPU's gone up to 3.3%. Why has it gone up? I don't know, but 3.3%, that's astronomical. It's been under 3 the whole stream.
So whenever in the future you want to, update to Wi-Fi 8 or Bluetooth 6, something like that, then
Speaking of Wi-Fi, sorry to keep cutting, I'm trying to entertain you as well, but okay, get this. Gives on a rant here. Not a rant, but so I had the M5 and I had the M1 sitting next to each other. The M1, it was the other way around. The M1 was still plugged into everything, and the M5 was over on this side. So the M5 was Wi-Fi. I think it's Wi-Fi 7. I'm not sure what the current. I don't know what the difference is, but it's the newer version of Wi-Fi. So it's sitting here. The M1 is sitting here, which is connected at the time to the CalDigit TS4, which has my Ethernet cable, which you do see when I'm streaming and I plug in the CalDigits, it jumps to like my structure of network. The top network connectivity is, well, you can see these cables running up the wall here. This is hardwired into the modem, which the NBN dudes wouldn't install inside. So this cable runs up and it runs across and back and basically goes outside to the garage, because they wouldn't put it anywhere better than the garage. So the M1 was sitting here, hardwired into fiber to the premises. The M5 was sitting next to it with Wi-Fi to the same internet, but via a router, the Fritzbox. Fritzbox! Love the Fritzboxes. So that's how that was connected. I did a speed test. I'm not shitting you. The speed test was faster on the M5 on Wi-Fi than the hardwired in M1. Now, the result was around about, and I'm only talking about upload speed here. I don't give a flying fuck about download speeds, but the download was about 260 or something. The upload speed on the laptop, hardwired in, was about 70 meg up. On the did I say laptop? I meant M1 laptop. M1 laptop, hardwired in, upload speed 70 meg. M5, Wi-Fi 6 or whatever the current Wi-Fi is, 90 up. Same internet. One via Wi-Fi, one via hardwired Ethernet. I was like, are you kidding me? The thing is, you don't, like, even though that's an interesting result, you definitely don't want to rely on, you don't want to stream on Wi-Fi, because yes, it might be a faster connection, but it might not be as solid, and anything can get in the way. Walls, buildings, corners, sea spray, salt, rain, wind, whatever, everything can get in the way. So you want to use hardwired. And by the way, hardwired in at 70 meg up, you only need 10 to 12 meg maximum. So 70 has got like massive lots of headroom, right? But I was just saying, like, the difference there. Dang, mine is 530 up. Well, we had gigabit here. We had gigabit up and down, and I just don't need it. Like, I'm not going to pay gigabit speeds just to have gigabit speeds. Like, if I'm only streaming right here at 6.5 meg anyway. So as long as I've got an upload speed of double that, say 12, we're good. But I thought that was just interesting to note, or worthy of talking about. Ethernet on M1 wasn't great. But that's the other thing. It's not the M1's Ethernet. It's coming in through the CalDigit, in that case TS4, which is gigabit Ethernet. The CalDigit TS5 is 2 gig internet, 2 gig Ethernet. So that's what confuses me, because when you've got these breakout like docks, you're basically limited to the cable between the dock and the laptop. But that cable on the M1 was Thunderbolt 3. Now it's Thunderbolt 5, which is I think 160 gig per second, something ridiculous. So like, you've got lots of headroom there, like lots of headroom. What's the price saving? I don't know. Gigabit speeds, but the thing is, I don't even remember. The thing is though, I pay for internet, and I pay for internet. I pay for internet, land-based internet, and I pay for Starlink internet. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to tell you about. I've had 10 Starlink referrals. I'll talk about that in another stream, but I'm paying for 2 internets. So why would I pay the top amount for gigabit land-based when I don't need it, and I know I'm going to also pay for Starlink for IRL stuff? So for me, it was like, I don't give a shit. Like, there's never been a time ever since we've had fiber to the premises here, there's never been a time when I've had to go, I wish the internet was quicker. Not once. And that's including the time that we were on gigabit and we dropped back to whatever we're on now. I think we're on like 250 up, 250 down and 100 up. And I'm like, that's completely fine for me. And it's perfect. It doesn't stop. It's always on. It's so sick, man. I just use my phone for internet, getting 300 down, 150 up. Way more than... Dude, that's sick, dude. I think the bottleneck was the Ethernet. You're probably right, yeah. Yeah. I mean, in an ideal world, we'd all have gigabit internet everywhere, but that's not the world we live in.
Feel free to do that because you've got a dedicated slot for that in there. So if you ever need to service anything, change the battery, it's very easy to open up, which is good news, right? What is the conclusion about this MSI laptop? Can I be honest? I am impressed because I did not expect that. I did not expect this to be so close to the desktop performance. Now, on desktop, I'm running the 9950X3D, which is the desktop variant of this CPU.
Can I just say, just go back, that image there, PC heads, they always love showing off the internals of their machines. Like when you look at that, you see lights and you see spinning fans and like branding and little cool LEDs and stuff. It's like, that's the insides of the computer. Like, I don't give, like, who cares about that? It's gear porn. Yeah. It's funny. Like I've got a laptop right here, and imagine I opened it up and like took a great long, slow panning shot of the innards and like got an RGB light with red and yellow. And I was like, look at this, man. What are you looking at exactly? The cable from there to there. Yeah. Look at that dust, man. This is awesome. That's what these guys are. They're into this, aren't they? It's funny. Like the specs and the stats and the benchmarks, they're all relevant and they're important, but this stuff is just fucking waffle, hey? Imagine having to update your GPU every 2 years. I mean, they get into it, don't they? They really get into it. Yeah. I don't know, like I'm not being a snob here, but I like that the laptop, or at least the Apple stuff, it's not about that. It's just about, hey man, here's the thing, turn it on, off you go, you can work. And like, I mean, I'm frothing at this. This is an incredible machine, but I'm not frothing at it like having close-up shots with the brand names and the spinning lights and stuff. In fact, all that shit annoys me at night. You know what's killing me right now? I haven't got my setup exactly how I want it, because when I turn my stream off, my Stream Deck, one of them stays powered on. And I'm like, I don't want to be sleeping and look up and see my Stream Deck powered up with the word Elgato on it. That's the thing, Elgato. You have to have there needs to be a complete shutdown of the Stream Deck. I don't want to see any light at all. Like when I go to sleep, I don't want to see light. I don't want to hear noise. I don't want to see anything. I want to mow the lawn and go fishing. I want to go to sleep and start dreaming. I used to build PCs. I'm over that. Yeah. I built PCs for years in my teens. It was fun. I mean, I kind of like, I understand it and I get it. People are into it. I'm not though, but people are, and I'm not throwing shade at them because that's.
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing.
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing. Like I get it, right? It's a thing. People are into it. I'm not into it. I'm into just having the stuff that works and like, yeah, that's it. I've got the M5 maxed out. I haven't done a video about it. I'm probably not going to make a video about it. I could make a video on it on YouTube about how, or you could just watch my streams and see he's using it. I don't know. I don't really care.
50X3D, which is the desktop variant of this CPU. And this CPU here performs very, very similarly. So whatever AMD has done on the CPU department for this laptop, amazing. AMD, MSI, their magic just works really well on the CPU. But not just the CPU, the GPU as well. The GPU is RTX 5090, and we've got 24 gigabytes of VRAM, which is not as much as we have on desktop, but this is the same performance as the RTX.
Look at that fan spin, man. Hell yeah. My ex, yours. Oh, Stream Deck. Yeah, the one I sent you. Stays alive too. Same issue. Yeah, dude, that's a Stream Deck thing. I tweeted at them and said, guys, can you just like, why can't you just have a point where when you turn it off, it turns off? Like, why does there stay some power to it? It's always powered. Doesn't make any sense. Like, there's a switch on it, you can do a multi-action switch or whatever, and one of them is brightness, and it just says minimum or maximum, and there's steps in between. But the minimum, that there should be, this amp goes to 11. This Stream Deck should go to off, right? It goes to minimum, but the minimum just means a small amount of light. It should just go to minimum, and then it should say or off, but it doesn't. It'd be the simplest thing for them to do, and they just don't do it. Most streamers are bedroom streamers, right? Like, I don't know. I'm a bit fussy. I can't sleep with lights. Nighttime is for sleeping. It's got to be dark. I can't do it. What I love now is that all my extended family used Macs, so I've never had to do PC repairs for them. Nice. My 2006 still going great as a second PC. BG, staying alive. Staying alive.
5080 desktop version that pulls more than double the performance or more than double the wattage, if that makes sense.
I'm taking a quick slash here, folks.
This is better.
But I am still here.
Because it's got more VRAM and it's got better encoders and decoders, because the 50 series will basically still get the 5090 desktop variant media engines, but kind of 5080 performance. So to me, actually this laptop is better than my personal rig that I just built. And this is just ridiculously impressive. There is one kind of downside to that I just wish it had, because then it would be ideal. This Ethernet port in the back there, the RJ45 connector, this should be 10 gigabits per second. If that was a 10 gig connection, this would be just insane. Plug it in, everything, it's amazing. The SD cards reader, USB ports, USB 4, whatever you need, it's all there. That's the only downside that I can think of. A desktop performance, but on a laptop form factor. And the 18-inch just really works well. Even if you don't have external displays, you've got plenty of real estate on this one. Hands down, I did not expect this to be that good.
Did he?
Congratulations.
Did he really?
If you reach this part of the video, you're in the top.
Did he really just say that he needs 10 gigabit Ethernet? I mean, the only reason you'd need that is to shunt files across from a network attached storage. But I don't know, like in terms of, I mean, I'm thinking about it from a streaming point of view. Like, you don't need 10 gigabit Ethernet on a laptop unless it's your main driver, I guess. I love the fact that pretty much all gear uses USB-C. No more hunting for the right cable. Was about a year and a half to 2 years ago, I made a tent. I made a decision to only buy, like I would, if I was looking at some gear, Giv's on a rant right now. If I was looking at buying some gear and if it wasn't USB-C, I wouldn't buy it. You know what? The one that really kills me is that micro USB. They used to use it on the Solo Shot uses it, and some old GoPros used to use it. That one fucking kills me because it looks, and with these hideous eyes, it looks like Type-C, and you go to push it in and it's like, it's the wrong cable. So I agree. Everything should be USB-C. Geeks have enjoyed this stream. Gibbs, appreciate it. Dude, I'm into it too. Like, don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed this too. I am super stoked on what I have, and I'm not going, like, for the next at least until M10, you're going to see me running the M5. This is it now. Like, I've got this, and it's back down to 2.8%. Super sick, right? Have you, what about you guys at your end of this stream? There hasn't been any, there's been nothing, right? No glitches, no nothing. Like, I feel like, do you want to, okay, let's just finish this video. Do you want to do a test of some sorts after we finish this?
13% of people's attention graph, and there's more than 50% chance that you've seen this.
Oh, he's just trying to get subscribers. Let's get him out of there. Do you want to just sit here for a little, what is it? I normally do 2 hours. We've already gone 2.5, 2:20. Do you want to just stream? Do you want to just keep streaming? Hang out for a while? If that's the case, I'm going to grab some port. Unless MSI shouts you an 18-inch to test, I'm not doing that, dude. That means I got to get a Microsoft account. Hell no. There were hardly any glitches on your home M1 streams. Hendrik, I know you want to say that, and I know you're saying that because you kind of want me to say there's no reason for you to have upgraded. Just go back to this. Watch this. Okay, I'm going to make this full screen. I'm going to press my spacebar to start the playback, and watch how quick this happens.
Means you're not subscribed. So
stop. Watch this. Finger goes down.
consider subscribing, hitting that bell
In previous streams,
icon, liking the video.
When I would do that, there would be a distinct delay between response time. Watch this. Here we go again.
It would mean a world to us.
So it's worth it for $7,000. No, that sounds stupid. I get it. The M1 was super powerful and it was rad. I think that, you know what, I'm gonna need some port here. I'm gonna need some port. Can we just take pause here? Can we take a moment and I'll run my surfing clip from a few days ago, and I'll be right back, and we'll just hang out for a while. And we could throw shit at this. I could load up Discord. Let's try to fuck this up. Tell me what I should do to put the resources at play here. Like, what should I open up? Mail client? Should I do a handbrake? We'll do some handbrake encoding. I haven't done anything. We'll do some shit. We'll fuck this up. We'll try to ruin the M5, and then I'll wait for the M6 and upgrade again. No, I won't. I'll see you in a second. Get some port. Yes, Ron.
Did you bring the waves with you? Sorry, I won't be out here tomorrow, Arbo, by the sound. It's looking pretty nasty, huh? Yeah. And then Saturday's even worse. Yeah, I saw that. 15, 16. Holy shit.
Yes, folks, it's looking pretty nasty. You know what it is looking like? Time for a port, folks. This was a port that I was given from some crew that I drove to this winery. Give me a focus. Mountain Ridge Wines from South Australia, but it's at a winery here on the south coast of New South. And I'm going to have some now. And we'll just hang out for a little while, maybe another 10, 15 minutes. I'm not going to drink too much of this because I want to go surfboarding tomorrow. That's enough, I think. A little sniff the report. Is that horny port? I don't know what that means. I'm celibate. I don't believe in sex before marriage. Shit. How can we test this M5? What can we throw at it to give it a full blown? Like I want to mess up this stream. I want you guys to see some kind of degrading quality of some sort. Like what can I do to fuck this up? I want to throw everything at it. Have to check out the DJI 360 drone. So slick. Fly it around and reframe the footage in post. I kind of want to see that, dude. Do a benchmark test? I don't know. I don't have any benchmarking tools. I kind of want to learn about. I'm going to search up. We'll do this on another. I'm going to tab this out though. What is it called? DJI 360. DJI 360. I want to do that. The Avata 360. Is this it, dude? Is that what it is? I'll do a stream on this another time, but. That's the one. Okay, cool. We'll tab that out for another time. Okay, let me think about this. You know what we could do? We could open up music and play. I've got a new sort of system for music here. Okay, how about this? Does anybody have a song they want to hear? Anybody want to hear a particular song? That's what I'm asking. And how can we do this? I want to run this script. I've got a script in the background here that runs whilst we're playing music. I wrote this script. Where is my script editor? Give me a second here to open this. Yeah. Bee Gees, Staying Alive. Okay. I'll search it. I probably should have that in there. Let me just open up this script.
I wrote this script.
Did you now? How is old mate Creaky these days? Is Creaky still a force to be reckoned with? Scripts now playing up data. That should be running. Okay, so that's running. Let me open up music. All this stuff I would be careful not to do during the stream. I would do it before the stream. Now I'm doing it during the stream, and I'm just wondering how this is. Okay, the CPU went up to 3.1% from 2.8. Then I'm going to go to, I got this new, because after I upgraded to Tahoe, music, so iTunes got rid of that feature to go full screen with a blur that changes colors behind it. They got rid of that. So I had to go and find a widget that gives you full screen, and I'm not really that psyched on this one, but I'll run it anyway. It's called Malcolm or something. What's it called? No. Okay, I can't remember what it's called. Let me just go to my applications and look at the most recent date modified. It's called Micron. I'm going to open up Micron. Okay, so this now, and you can't see this just yet, but I'm going to put it on full screen. Okay, so if we go now over to here, so this is where I'd normally play music, right? And this is pulling in music from, well, pulling in the metadata from music. And if I go and search, what did Hendrik want to hear? Staying Alive, Bee Gees. Search Apple Music, search my library, Bee Gees. No results for the Bee Gees, Hendrik. I do not have Staying Alive. I don't have Staying Alive. Any other requests for music? Faith No More, Netskis. What song would you like to hear? Damn, that's nice, Port. A little sweet. What song would you like to hear from Faith No More? I'll just wait for the latency. We could be streaming with SRT. I've also got to fix the viewers watching. I'll do that another time. On Fire. Thank you, On Fire, over on Valoria.tv. How you doing? What's cracking? Netskis. If you don't give me a song, I'm going to play one of my own. So, okay, how about this? Okay, forget this. Netskis, bad luck. You took too long. Cover this shit up. Cover this up. I'm going to ask you, actually reveal that for a second, because hang on. I haven't got the song up yet. Okay, I'm going to play a Faith No More song, and I want you to guess the song name. Huh? Oh, Woz has got one. Hang on a second. I've already gone with one. Give me a second. Okay, so if I... Okay, perfect. This is interesting because I've now got two controllers for music, which is a bit confusing. I used to just have one, but now there's the widget that's taking the info from Apple Music, but there's also Apple Music that's playing the information that's going to the widget. So I've got to just be careful about getting it. Oh, wow, there's an interesting scrub bar. Okay, so if we go, and I want to make sure I've done this correct so that you don't see it. Okay, hold on a second. And this would normally be a lot cleaner because I'd do it via, it'd be random, but hang on a second. So if I go, I'm going to go studio mode here, and I'm going to just check that this is, see it, that's the thing. You would have seen it. Shit, I'm glad I did that because you would have seen that shizzle. Okay, now it's hidden. Okay, so let's go over here. Studio mode's off. Try to guess the song here, folks. The song. Not the artist. We know it's Faith No More. How's the volume? I'll queue up Pussifer as well. I don't have it. As the worm turns. Oh, we didn't have the artist info though. We didn't have the artist info up there.
Close enough. As the worm turns. What album's the Remedy off was? I'm looking for the Remedy from Pussifer. I did a search and I didn't come up with it. That's Faith No More. The only song that they redid after Chuck Mosley was... Oh, I beg your pardon. We care a lot as well. But one of the only songs that they redid after Chuck Mosley was booted from the band. And I'm just looking for that Pussifer song, but can't see it. Can't see it. The Remedy. Don't see it there, dude. I don't see it. A perfect circle. Ooh, Pussifer or perfect circle? Do I have a perfect circle? Oh, dude, I don't have any No, I do. I have emotive. I can find that some. I can find that some. We're looking to try to fuck shit up here. I don't have that song. I only have the album Emotive from 2004. I tell you what I could do. Do you want to test it by punching in? No, I can't show you. I was gonna get a little funky there and show you some of my new music, but no, not till it's done. Not till it's done. Either way, we only increased to 3% CPU, and we were just. Well, I was. You know what I got to do? I got to open up Discord. That's what I got to do. I got to open up Discord. Discord usually during a stream, I always I can't open up. I'll open up Mail and Discord at the same time. I'll do it. I'll do Mail. I'm just showing you that I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to. I'll do Discord first. But I don't want you to see my Mail client, obviously. But Discord and Mail at the same time. So those are both opening right now. Okay, Mail's up. Dude, Mail's up already. Discord, where did Discord go? Discord's already up. Dude, this is insane. That happened that quick. I didn't even see it happen. CPU at 3.1%. So was there anything notable at your end? Did it change anything? Let's open up Handbrake. Did I even install Handbrake? I don't think I installed Handbrake. Handbrake applications. You got a link there to a video. I mean, I'm not sure what that is, Netskis, but no, I do have Handbrake. Let's open up Handbrake. Discord is slow as fuck. Dude, Hendrik, I'm not making this up. I haven't opened up Hendrik. I haven't opened up Discord today. I mean, so during this stream, Discord has been the only things running on this stream has been Firefox, OBS, music, and the music widget. And so I opened up Mail and Discord at the same time, and it happened like that. And now I've got I'll show you Handbrake. This is Handbrake. This is a very powerful encoding software to encode video. Now, I've got a video that I'm going to be editing for my YouTube channel. It's a Jack Daniels review. And here is a snippet of what that looks like. You might not be able to hear this. I could program that in though. Let me just see. Do you have QuickTime audio? You might have it already there. Yeah. Hello, the internet. It is Tuesday, the 24th of March, 2026. Okay, so that's the scope of that video. That is a
Why does it say 2 hours? 64 gig. I've got 64 gig, yeah, 64 gig of RAM. I'm not sure why that said says 2 hours there. It's not a 2 hour video. It is a, I'll just inspect it. Here's the inspector. It's 1.6 gig, and that video runs for 1 minute and 32. That's a bad example. Let's go to a bigger one. Let's go to, okay, this one's 21 gig. Okay, folks, this is a 21 gig file.
All right, how about you go there and I'll stay here. So, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Serve 12%. First of all, let's do the thing and taste it.
We know I tasted it, but the point of this is to show you how this works. So we'll drop that out of full frame, full frame. So this is the file information here. I can't make it any larger, unfortunately, but you can at least see how big can I make it. That's as big as it goes. You can at least see it's 21.24 gig, and the duration is 19 minutes. I watched a review. I watched this review. I think I dropped a comment. No, you didn't. Hendrik, I haven't edited this video yet. You didn't watch this review. I haven't edited. This was the day before my M5 arrived. So I shot this content and then I came home and my M5 was here. So I haven't actually edited it yet. So you kind of watched it. So I appreciate your enthusiasm, but just know that you're wrong. Either way, what I want to do here, and this file is P1044207. I want to open this up in Handbrake. So, and I want to encode it out. Just as a curiosity, I'm going to copy this file into my downloads folder, the one that ends in 207. So I just copied that into my downloads folder. So there it is in my downloads. Now I'm going to go to Handbrake. I'm going to open source and I'm going to go to my downloads and I'm going to choose that file. So this now opens it up in Handbrake. It's scanning the title and there it is. So that's the file. Unrelated, but Costco has Jack Daniel's number 7 3 liters for 100. Dude, that's a good price for a 3 liter bottle. I dropped a comment in the future. Call me Marty. Okay, so that's the file. Now you can scrub through it a little if you want. Where is my? So the video source, I'm going to encode to H.264 at 30 frames, even though it was shot. Summary here. It should have been shot in 4K. Now, we do have an issue here because this is not how I had my Handbrake set up. I don't recognize any this the way I've opened Handbrake. I haven't used it yet on the M5, but it's. I want to see the original material format. Where's my original source material? Dimensions. This is all what it's encoding out to. You used to have encode with your GPU or video toolbox. Yeah. But it used to have. It used to have a 2 bars on the side. Okay, so we'll go back to video. We're going to encode to video encoder H.264 or video toolbox. H.264 video toolbox. We're going to leave it at the quality preset of what it is.
It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. Oh, okay. It's hovering. It's hovering. It's hovering. It's hovering. It's gone. It's gone.
Where'd it go?
Where'd it go? It's hovering. It's hovering. It's hovering. I know that this was shot in 60 frames, so we'll put it back to 60 frames. So we got H.264 video toolbox and audio. We're going to keep it the same audio. We're not going to change the audio. So we're going to add this to a queue. Where's my queue? That's what I need. I need my queue. Here's the queue. Ah, dude. Okay, so this is all changed. But anyway, that's the queue right there. So This is a 20-minute. We've already assessed that this is a 20-minute file. It's 21 gig. It goes for 20 minutes. It's
Fuck me.
That was a genuine fuck up too. So yeah, 21 gig of an MPEG-4, and you can see it's a 4K file, 380/40 by 216. It should have 60 frames there somewhere. Anyway, we're going to encode this in Handbrake, and we're going to see, where's my cue? Here's my cue. We're going to start the encode, and I'm going to watch my CPU process. It's currently at 3.4%. Let's start this encode queue.
I think AI is going to be very dangerous. Helpful. Interesting.
Dude, it failed. What the hell? It's helpful. Interesting. It failed. Interesting. What's going on with that? It failed. Or it finished? Where did it put it? Did it put it on my desktop? Nope. Okay, hold on a second. Let's get rid of that. Again, I haven't set up any preferences here. The fme drop was an M1 file. That was at Tattoo's place. Where? Okay, I didn't actually set up a an output, but we'll just do it here. Add to queue. Where's my queue? Here's my queue. Edit. Now, where does it save it to? I'm not seeing an output file here. Why didn't it just? There's no what? Okay, I'm confused. I should have checked out Handbrake before I started. It's shit, man. It's shit, man. Okay, I'm failing here. I am failing here. I should have set this up how I haven't used Handbrake on the M5. Source, destination, contain. Why is it putting it out there? I want to put it on my desktop so it's easy to find. Can't we just go to preferences and change that? File naming, format, MP4, queue, advanced, options. When done, where's when done? Do nothing. Where's my output, man? Where does it say it's going to store it on my desktop? I don't want it to store it there. Start the queue. Where's my queue? It failed again. Dude, it failed. This is not a good test. This is not a good test at all. And I really need to take a slash. I'll be right back. I really need to slash.
This is reality.
This is reality. I'm struggling here. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I don't know why that's failing. Do we have an error message? Summary. It might not be. You know what? Let's just try changing the codec. Let's change from video tool. Let's just go straight to a H.264. Let's go H.264, just straight up H.264. 60 frames a second. Add to queue. Add to queue.
Into the military green. Going on here, little boop boop
Boop boop. Boop boop. The boop boop. Okay, so let's try this. This is now just going to go H.264. Okay, that's better. So we're encoding a 20-minute file with H.264 and we're live streaming. The CPU on the live stream is cranked up to 4%, so that's double the CPU usage that it has before. Let's not forget, we're now taking a 4K video file and converting it down to 1080p at H.264 encode, and it's 3% done, and the CPU is at 4.2%. Fans have kicked in. So I am live streaming to the internet with 5 monitors all connected to OBS, and we're encoding this at the same time. And I got a new message from someone. So it's taking, that's 9% done. CPU is now at 5%. No drop frames. And let's continue to move around. Let's play music as well at the same time. Let's play some tunes. I'm going to just
Oh my god. Look, yep. This is very
not awesome.
Awesome.
Not awesome. I'm going to play something cool here. Something that you guys will definitely know while this encode happens. I'm going to play a lovely song here from a great artist who you dudes should be able to identify. Let's make this full screen. So try to guess. Let me just check studio mode. I'm going to go to studio. This is also encoding issues. Studio mode. Yeah, cool. I'm glad I didn't go there straight away because you would have seen it. Studio mode needs to be... okay, hold on a second. Okay, folks. Try to guess the artist here. Turn off studio mode. Try to guess the artist. CPU at 18%. Peter Bibby. Oh yeah. Stinking rich. Damn. Oh yeah. Jimbo.
CPU's at 4%. Have we finished the encode? Nope, 20% done. See you, Doug. So damn lovely. What I got? What I got? What I got? Mr. Peter Bibby and his bottles of confidence from the Butcher Hairstylist Beautician album, Stinkin' Rich. We love it. We know it. We enjoy it. I wanted to see what that did to the CPU. It got up to 20 and then it dropped right back down to 4.5. And we are now, if you noticed over here, we are encoding. We've gone about halfway through, 48%. So what I want to do here is basically say there's no point continuing because we know that it's not affecting. So I've thrown Handbrake, I've thrown Discord, I've thrown music, I've opened my mail client, we've got Firefox running, I've got Brave browser running, we've got script editor running in the back. And by the way, the fans are on. Can you hear the fanses? I don't know if you can hear those fanses. I'll angel this down at the fanses. Tell me if you can hear these fanses if I put it right down next to it. There's one on that side. You can hear those fanses, right? So the fanses are on, but my point is it hasn't affected anything really. CPU is back down to 4.5%. In this stream, we've totaled around maybe, the maximum, I guess the average will be 3%. 3% CPU. I don't know. I feel like this is incredible. Like I'm super stoked, super cool. I'm happy for this. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And if you are, stream like I'm gonna say ta-ta. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll stream tomorrow. We'll talk more. We'll hang out tomorrow and we'll have a good time. And things will be the things. So Farkle in the chat, and thanks for hanging out with me on this stream today. Appreciate you all.
Now go and do whatever the hell it is what you were doing before you came to my stream. Thanks for being here live with me. Started out alive, there was a clue. The play.
Screaming every night, building up a sway. But as the sight faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms, surfing through
Hopping platforms? I've got to learn the lyrics to this if I'm going to sing it.
Chilling IRL, catching all the rivers.
Fockle in the chat.
Bringing lost to the grind.
Damn, Gibbs, what did I do wrong? Play my video? Oh, dude, no. It's all I wanted. You don't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. Life's harsh, man.
New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite.
Sorry about that.
So solid,
You know.
always shining bright. Rolling deep and cruising for the high.